Hey, good morning, Rory. How you doing?
Good morning, Mark. How are you? I'm doing fairly well myself.
Good. I'm doing okay too.
Excellent. Excellent.
Although I've been having problems this morning. I think this happens a lot in coding where I'm like, here's where I want to go, and here's my
hmm
intended, direction and momentum, anticipated momentum, and
Yep.
then something just smacks you around, and that's what's been happening to me this morning.
Yeah.
It's kind of a continuation of something we saw yesterday. Remind me, Roy, you left yesterday, and I kept going, right?
I think you were heading off to do a little. You were going to track down a bug in the chat
Yep.
room. Yeah, leveling ability. That
Right.
was it.
So we fixed that, and then I think I also worked on the dice. Were you here for the dice at all, or
I
no?
was not here. I saw some dice early on. You were doing a quick demo of them rolling across the screen. They looked very nice.
Yeah. So
So yeah.
I was working on the dice, and we made some progress there. But one of the things we noticed here, I'll show you my screen so you can take a look at it here. One of the things we noticed was all of these error messages here in the TypeScript, the diceroller.ts. So this
hmm
diceroller.ts is something I grabbed from. I grabbed it from a JavaScript sample, or it was actually HTML, and then I put it over here in the TypeScript. And my intention was to essentially make it better
Sure. Yeah.
and more object oriented.
And you had
And
some module-related issues that I believe Will helped you with, was it?
yeah, and it's like the movie Poltergeist, that old movie Poltergeist, where they're like, "Don't go in the light," and then later the psychic says, "Go into the light," and he's like, "But you told me not to go in the light." She's like, "Just
Yep.
go in the light," and it's
Ghostbusters, don't cross the streams, except of course when you need to cross the streams.
yeah, Surly Deb. Good afternoon to you and everyone else
Hey,
around
Surly.
the world. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. He said, "Don't import. You don't need to import." And
hmm
yet, I tried doing the triple. We also tried the triple slashes over here too. This was a suggestion Will gave us. That did not help us. And however, one thing did help: adding these lines in here, right here. So if I take these away, my errors are going to jump up to like 57. You can see it right there.
Sure.
If I put them back, my errors drop down to 24. And I'm
Okay.
like, okay, not bad. And now we get into, issues like this, which I haven't researched yet. But basically, hey, directional light doesn't have a position property on it or something like that. So we need to
Sure.
do a little more research here. Cannot find dice D20, dice D20. That is inside here. I don't know if I can do this.
Is there any possibility that we have a different version of the library from that which the code originally used? So it has
Uh,
some parts but not others?
No, because it's working. Because all this code works when it's in
Oh, it does
the
function.
browser. It's
Okay.
just these errors are stopping me, and they're stopping me from doing a couple things. One of the things they're stopping me from doing is apparently making changes to the JavaScript and the TypeScript file that actually stick and can be loaded. For example, if I bring up the this page, diceroller.cs HTML right here, that page right there, and I bring that up here, die rollers right there, I have a bug flying around nearby me, like a literal actual bug. Okay, here's the
Wow.
page right here. And if we look at the source for this, let's do a empty cache and hard reload of this.
hmm
Here it comes. Here's the source, dieroller.ts. We look down near the bottom. You'll see the render is down here. Render's not doing anything other than call render. What do I have over here on mine? In the bottom of mine, I have called a render canvas and
Okay.
this. And the file is saved. And it's not getting copied and moved across is what's happening. So
So the die roller TS file is positioned where within your solution?
it's inside my the TS, one of the subfolders here. It's right here.
Okay, so it should be producing an equivalent JS file in what I believe you had was a source folder with similar
Right here.
subfolders. Yeah,
Yeah, if you
okay.
look at my TS config.
So your JS from there is being included in the page Where's the reference in the page to the dice roller JS?
That's
Or
in
does it need
right
to be in the
here.
page? Okay, so now that does
That's
not.
here.
Oh no, that is there. It is in a dice roller folder, which I assume is where the TS file was in relative terms. So, yeah. Although, I don't know if the tilde um, symbol means anything to the client-side browser.
Oops,
Is
sorry.
that being translated by the time it gets to Chrome?
You think there's a problem here?
Well, I don't know. I guess CSHTML is a server-side process thing, so it
Let's.
probably is just being translated for the full path. So
All these other CSHTMLs are using it, so I don't think that's it. Yeah, I
sure.
don't. I don't have a good answer on in terms of what is causing this nor how to fix it. I've also tried a number of searches, and I'm not finding searches that are productive either. That are telling me how to do this. By the way, hello, Electric Havoc. Good to have you out here. Love your handle there, Electric Havoc. One of my favorites out there. And let's see, what am I going to do here? I want to go. Yeah, I guess I'm just at this point. I'm like I'm a little vexed on this. I was hoping to start working with both the canvas and the three and the Canon, libraries already having those for the three-dimensional stuff. I wanted to have canvas
Sure.
on top so I could do special effects, and I'm kind of blocked because of apparently these errors, which aren't actually errors. I would
So
love.
what
Go
we're
ahead.
used to doing is saving our TS and having it regenerate everything in terms of our JS files. So
Yeah.
what's the edit date or the last modified date on the JS file that's actually on disk?
Okay, we can take a look at that. I think you're hoping. Let's see what we
Well,
can do. You're.
yeah.
I want to say you're reaching for straws here, is what it feels like. Hold
Well,
on.
because this will prove to us at least that the file is being modified. So it'll determine whether that's the failure or whether it's a read failure.
Well, I'm pretty sure the file's modified. I trust that it doesn't say it's modified up here. AMSSH10 is following. Thanks for that follow, AMSSH10. Thank you. All right, so let's see here.
So I'm looking for the dice roller. So the dice roller TS that you've got there was edited. Oh, you've got some interesting date structures in the US.
Yeah, we do, don't
11th
we?
of April today at 10:03. So that's what, 3 minutes ago, or 5 minutes ago by
Yeah,
your time.
yeah.
So now the question is, what about the equivalent JS file that is on disk that is actually being used?
Okay, well, I bet it is. Okay, that's at least something we can check. So I like this strategy. It's a little less seemingly hopeful. Okay, so
So I'm less hopeful, therefore it's a better strategy.
well, it's less based in hope, is I guess what I'm saying here.
Okay.
Where is it? Source.
Yeah.
Oh, look here.
Nice.
Oh, look here. There's a TS in here.
It's a
I could
TS folder.
copy my stuff over to get around the problem, I bet.
The TS is definitely. See now, look, there you go. That dice roller was modified at the time we're expecting, but it's not the path we were pointing at.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. And it's got the stuff I want in it, too.
Yeah.
Look at you, Rory. You're so awesome. So,
So
what's.
why is it generating here instead of where we expect it
Oh,
to?
my God. I don't know. Is this like a Chrome reboot issue right here? I don't even get this.
I think it's a studio thing. I think it's part of the project. Something about the where should I generate my source code, and it's gotten changed at some point.
Well, isn't this the right place or not? Oh, wait. Is it
I
not the
don't
right
think
place?
so. No.
Hold on, let's see if that's the problem. In here, game dev source dice is dice roller. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, look at this. Boom. Game dev source dice. Whoa, and
That's
they're
8:20 today, so
that's
a long time
earlier.
ago.
But I made a
Oh,
change
yeah.
somehow. I think that moved one from one place to the other.
hmm Well, I think what's happened is you started off generating here where the 821 is, and then at some point afterwards, you made a change to the instruction as to where to generate, and it's decided to move it out to the underneath the TS folder.
Interesting. Let's
Now,
see if we can
fresh
find it.
generations are happening there, but since the page isn't referencing it from there, you're not picking up any of the.
Well, one of the things I was trying to do fix here is I was modifying the TS config.
Okay, yeah.
And one of the changes was simply just from here to here. I think all it did is it just took one line and broke it into multiples, is what it did here. And
Okay.
these are includes here, so I'm not anticipating that's
Yeah.
going to do it. Let's see the next one here. No changes to the tsconfig.json, and nothing here to tsconfig.json. So those would be and then what do I got here? That's 10 April, that's yesterday. So something bizarre happened that doesn't make a lot of sense. What's interesting is the time around this change is around when this happened. I cleaned up this. I took out some commented pieces here in the dieroller.cs piece right here. This took out this comment piece here. I took out the folder.js reference. It turned out we were hard coding that. We didn't need that.
Fine. Yeah.
Took out this. And let's
So
see here.
tsconfig definitely is a place where these instructions can come from, but do we not also have properties of the project? Would they necessarily go into or be detected by? They might be in a .vs folder and maybe excluded from source control and therefore ignored.
No way. That would be highly unlikely. That would be bad design. That would be like, no way. So this is yesterday, so that's not the deal. I'm basically looking for something that happened this morning. Yeah, there's nothing. There's no CS proj there. No CS proj there. And nothing there either. Yeah, I'm like, I don't get it. That's it. My include seems to be the only thing that changed over here. I added these right here, but these shouldn't change it. I could delete these too. I could go back and delete all those. Let's try that. What the heck? Let's try it. I'm like, up for anything. Well, these are the pieces that I tried adding this morning, and I want to further comment those out. And these I'm going to comment as well. So
those things you were looking at there, they were as yet uncommitted, or they had been committed?
These, I think they were diceroller.ts. Let's go look at that. What do we got here? Diceroller.ts. Here, you can see I added them at about 10 o'clock this morning.
Okay.
Which was about, that was just a few minutes ago. I did that before we started. And then right here, what do I have? Nothing on the top. So no real obvious changes to this. This is the one. These are the pieces that I added here. Nothing else, I think, in the end. So let's just see if that helps the problem out. If I save now and we refresh this, I guess we're going to see where this thing is coming from. Empty cache, hard reload. Yeah, it's still grabbing from. Oh, look at that. Something here told it to generate in another location. Fine.
That is very strange.
Okay, good news, kids, is that I've got a canvas and I'm drawing on the canvas on top of this.
Okay.
So that line is being drawn. Whoa, it's showing up behind it. Hold on. Let's go look at that. Maybe I got it in the wrong spot. I thought this meant it was on top of the piece behind it. Let's see if I switch that and refresh. And simultaneously, to prove we're getting a refresh, let's change the color. What is it? Something like context.line. No, stroke. There it is. Stroke is equal to FF0000. One of my favorite test colors to see that something is actually changing. Let's do a refresh. See if we get a red line here. And is it on top?
Then it says maybe stroke style.
Oh, is that what it is?
Possibly.
Yeah, it looks like I got a bug. Stroke style. Why did it suggest that? Oh, whatever. All right. Okay. And save and refresh. Okay. And it's definitely still changed. It's changed, but it's below. I need to change its Z order somehow. Well, at least we're on to something. Let's
yeah.
We've got tons of bugs, but Z order of HTML 5 canvas on top. Let's see what we can do with that. Set the Z index. It's possible Z of drawn object on. No, I don't want to set it on of the drawn object. No. No, 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 no. I don't want that. I want the Z.
So presumably the dice are applying to the canvas, and so is your red line. So is it not more the
No,
order of the
the
operations?
dice is not. The dice are not.
Oh,
They're not. And the order of our operations is render the scene and then render the canvas. So even so, we're rendering
sure.
afterwards. The dice are actually placed inside of the another element in here. I don't remember where the code is. It looks like it must be in dice roller here. Look for document in here and see if we can find it. Here it is. It's looking for the get element by ID 3JS document
Okay.
element, which is this div right here. Wait, no, 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 no.
That's
It's this div right here. Oh, I thought it was
right.
the
So you don't.
container. Let's do that. This might fix it. Wouldn't that be sweet?
Right.
All
Yeah,
right.
that'd work.
Wouldn't it be sweet if I just did the simple thing and it would fix it? Still on the bottom. I'm going to refresh it one more time, under the hope that, yeah, no, it's on the bottom. So, yeah, I don't get it. I do not get that. All right, let's go back to our search and see if we can find anything else on here.
So Will's agreeing with you. Putting it afterwards should have been enough.
Hard refresh. Okay, I'm up for a hard refresh. Let's do it. No, still in the bottom. We can check that. We should be able to check our elements, right?
Yeah, we can have a look at them. That's next Thor is also agreeing we should be able to figure out what the current Z index is, perhaps. So if we can look at those two objects, and maybe we even just go to the computed tab and see, well, what is the Z order? It should be in one of the. Oh, maybe not.
Okay. Do I have the right one selected here? I'm not sure if this is enough to select that. Yeah, it is because it's got the height and width there of the 1080 and 1920.
Have you got some kind of a filter applied to that list of things? What's the show all do?
Okay.
Okay, well that's certainly a lot more. Z index will be right at the bottom, I'm assuming.
Z index is set to auto.
Auto.
So-
I'm guessing the other one is as well, perhaps. So, but then you see, if they're both auto, then that would make sense. Following Will's logic, that the second one would be on top.
Yeah, HTML on top. So only works when the HTML element is explicitly positioned.
Right, and the canvas hasn't been. The canvas is just. We're kind of trying to move the 3JS object to 0, 0, but we're not moving the canvas anywhere. It's just where it is. So maybe
Yeah.
the Z indexes are not interacting because we haven't got that explicit statement.
Yeah, I don't have a CSS for this right here, so I guess let's try this. I guess I'm kind of hacking my way through this here. So I'm thinking.
Well, you've got a style a little bit lower down on your 3JS div, which we could copy onto the canvas. You've got style position absolute left, right, or left and top. If we copy that same style.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Fine. Thanks for spotting that.
I mean, it's not the best HTML. We should probably be doing CSS most of the time, but it does sit there and it's handy. And
Okay.
as suggested in the chat room, we need to put explicit Z index on here.
I'm wondering if that's inside style. Is that right?
I believe so, yeah. You need a semicolon separating it from the top one that goes before.
There it is.
There we go.
And then do you know what what my value is here to be
I
on the
believe the
top?
higher values are on the top, so there's a suggestion we throw a 999 in.
That's so funny. I was just thinking no number could be higher than 999. That's what I was thinking. And Xthor, thank you so much for that suggestion out there. Will, good to have you with us as well. Thomas
Just to
DeWitt
be-
says hi. Straight Butter says hola. Surly Dev is out there. Surly Dev, good to have you as well. Welcome to everyone. All right, let's see how we're doing with this. Let's see if we get a red line over the top.
The only thing is we haven't
Yes!
It does work. Excellent.
Nice. awesome. That's making me happy. Okay, cool. So here's what I'm going to do. So I've recently discovered that if I do the less exciting stuff at the beginning, it's harder for Rory to leave at the end if I talk about the exciting stuff I'm going to do at the end. So here's what I'm going to do. Or here's my intention. We'll see what happens. See how I feel at the end. If I'm
You're going
up
to
for
promise awesome just towards the end, just to keep me hanging on.
Yeah, no, but I'm going to tell you right now. See this?
Okay.
This is a fireball. I'm going to run this over the dice right here. Hold on, let me back it up a little bit here. So when you roll a 20 and the
Right.
dice settles, I'm going to play this kind of thing over the top of it like that.
That is kind of nice.
I'm going to do that. That's what I'm going to do after Rory leaves. But because Rory's here, we are going to focus on important stuff. Oh, by the way, the other thing I think I did that you weren't here for, Rory, is I figured out the sound effects on this thing.
Oh,
So,
yeah. You were planning to do that.
So here, let me unmute this, and it's not bad. Listen to it as it rolls.
That's nice. And it is, yeah, it's very authentic, isn't it? Because I'm watching those and it doesn't stop until they do.
Yeah. What's happening is every time there's a collision, I'm putting a small dice sound out.
Yeah.
And then when there's the settle, I've got the settling as well. Look.
That is awesome, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's not bad. The only thing I don't like is I think that the sound of the dice against the floor is Bennett says, I bet if you remove the Z index right now, it would still work. I'm sure Bennett says sound is awesome. Hold on, let me mute this a bit so we don't go crazy here, just listening to it. But it's not bad. I basically recorded the sound of the dice hitting. The thing I was going to say I was going to change is I wanted the dice when it hits, I wanted it to sound a little more resonant. I wanted a more resonant surface for the floor.
Sure.
And so I might re-record some of those sounds and put them out there, but it's really easy to change it up here. What do I got here? Where is it? It's going to be in Overlay Manager, WW Root, Game Dev, Assets, go to the Dungeons and Dragons games, Sound Effects, go to Dice. There's Dice right there. And basically, I just have to re-record these and rename these floor 1 through 4 or whatever I'm going to have. And what I've done is the floor 1 is a light sound against the floor. Floor 2 is I drop the die from twice the height. And then floor 3, I double the height again. Floor 4, I double the height again. So I'm getting a different hit sound there. And then we're just using the velocity to determine which of those sounds to play. And I tweak that a little bit too. So in general, it's pretty good. And so that's whether I've got a bunch of dice or if I've got only one. Let me change that to just one. Let's close down these errors here. And let's change our die roller to roll only one die. And you can see and hear the difference here. Dice to roll, change it from 20 to 1. And then and one of the things that will happen when we go to only 1, you will not hear any of these sounds, which are the sounds that play when the dice hits another die. So they're different sounds basically. So I've got a die hitting another die hitting the floor, die hitting the wall, and I have a certain number of them. And all I do is I just record the number that I want and then tell the code how many there are out there. And then it figures out how to pick which one based on the velocity of the hit. And the range, the number of these that I provide. So if I change that to a 1 out here, we come out over here. We're going to unmute the site. And then we'll refresh it. And it's not doing any sound because I haven't clicked it yet. I did the refresh. And this is a thing that Chrome has so that when a page opens, it won't start playing audio from it. It's a usability feature. So I'm going to click it now. And now I've clicked it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Heard
that.
Yeah, it's feeling not bad. What happened then? Just as he showed the thing with the promise of awesome, the stream froze. What?
It's okay, Surly. The promise of awesome is for later when I've gone. It's to try and keep me hanging on as long as possible, apparently.
Come on, Rory. Getting home isn't the most important thing, right?
Well,
staying with your good buddy Mark is the most important thing.
I'm pretty sure my wife's of the opinion that if I don't go home, that's fine. It's if I get home late, then I'm in for it.
All right. Yeah, I'm liking the sound.
This is a promise I avoid if I don't go at all. But
the sound is pretty good. It's pretty good.
Sound is good.
Yeah, and so I'm happy with that. All right, so let's mute the site. Okay. So let's go to, we're going to come back to this. We'll go back to the dice and we'll see if we can get something exploding or burning or figure out where that die is when it's done rolling. I have no idea, no promises on how that's going to go. Speaking of no promises, it's always good to let you know that...
Disclaimer! Clark doesn't know what he's doing!
Yeah,
Surly Dev has an awesome plan there. He says I should get a home office,
Yeah.
which is not a problem. The problem is that the home office is in proximity to the loud people.
The chillin', as we call them here in the States.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, I get that. We've got actually 2 homeschooled kids, 10 years and under here, and I've got a home office. And they are not bad. And also, I find it goes a lot better if I'm just chill. Right? In other words, if I hear them, shouting or at one point they were singing songs from The Sound of Music, and I so wanted to go out there and recreate the scene where the captain shouts out, "No singing in the house! I'm broadcasting live. Singing is evil," or whatever, right? But I had a heart and I didn't do that. But anyway, yeah, it's not bad. I find that if I'm way more chill about it, I'm not as upset, when, these things happen. So
it's a good theory.
That's the new me. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Oh, the other thing is, so we've got right now, we should have Mr. Announcer Bot working. So in other words, if I type in something like AWE, bang AWE, like that, why don't I see that? Did I get that wrong?
No, I think you've got it right, and it's not working because somebody did try and grab your attention earlier, and there was nothing.
But we were on a different stream. What are we on here? We're on disclaimer. You know what? Maybe let me reload these here a second. I'm going to grab all of them here. Let's grab the overlay bot. That's Mr. Announcer Bot. Let's refresh that first. You just saw the in the stream. You can see the scroll bars show up. Let's do the same for the Dragon Front overlay, and we'll do it the same for the drone games. We're going to just refresh all of those caches and let those load up, and they're doing that now. I have heard your kids on the podcast. I can imagine. Yeah. You know what? These kids are like, I am not worthy.
Pretty good.
They are really good, and I am so not worthy of these kids. I am simply not worthy. Right now, neither is my wife. We are both like, how did we get these guys, right? Every other kid, we have 7 kids total, and all the other 5 that precede them, they're the worst hellions on the planet Earth, right? They're just all like, the worst. And these other 2 kids are just amazing. They're like achievers. They're like thinkers. They're like introspective. And my wife and I look at each other and we just are like, we just have to keep them alive and don't interfere. They're on a good path. They'll figure it out. Just don't screw this one up. Right.
Absolutely.
That's how we feel about these guys. So when they're like loud, whatever, I'm like, you know what? It's okay. Next source says, so the youngsters saw the others and chose to be different. That is actually true in some cases. Some of them have said things like that. So what do we have? So we don't have Mr. Announcer Bot. Let's see if I can figure out why. Well, I've got Mr. Announcer Bot running. That's Mr. Announcer Bot right there. Let's see. You know what I can do is I can set a breakpoint, I bet. Or fixed. Yeah, that's not, I think it's fixed. Mark is my favorite. That should do something. Nothing. All right, so let's see if we can figure that out. Let's see if we can set a breakpoint inside Mr. Announcer Bot and see what's going on. Well, handle GitHub command. No. Well, actually, the scene command is the one I'm looking for, I think. So there's activate scene. Let's see if we're getting here. And we'll come in here. Oh, by the way, Will, I noticed you've been running some of the tests and playing some of the games out there. One of the things I wanted to say, by the way, Roy, did you just type in drone 2 or no?
No, D2.
Oh, okay. Wait, D2.
to go down.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I saw you pop out of what looked like the gate, warp gate 2, and I wanted to know if you popped out without that other bug that we were seeing before. Oh yeah, there's the bug. That's my least favorite. To just type in bang drone
Warp
right
speed.
there. Yeah, it's like, yeah, and it kills one, but not all of them. I think I want to, I've been thinking about this. Why does this bug occur only in OBS, but not in Chrome? Is the question that's on my mind right now. The thing I was going to say, Will, is that you, right, these games and tests that you're running, yeah, it's a mess, are out in, they're out here in my TypeScript CodeRushed game layouts, right? So if you want to make a particular layout, you can just, you've got access to the code, put what you want up there, and then that can be there for the next game. And then you can add as well a line of code here inside of dronegame.ts to start that particular game. I think I'm going to refresh the screen.
It is a little distracting. That is true.
What are you doing, buddy? Are you mad because I'm going to
take over the universe?
You mad because I'm going to do
it with as many copies of me as possible?
You mad, bro? Because I'm going to do some awesome stuff just as you leave, or is that what it is?
Me?
You're
Never.
mad. Roy's mad.
No.
I've made Roy mad. I've overstepped my bounds. All right. So I set a breakpoint. Activate scene. Let's try one more time. Mark. No breakpoint hit. That's weird. I'm going to say let's close and start again. Let's just try that. I'm going to kill my Mr. Announcer bot. And what else do I need to kill? The die roller. And just killed every instance of Chrome. There it is. It's gone. Rest the config for lazy to false. Reset the config for lazy to false. What's that going to do for us? That's the tsconfig.json you're talking about in Xor? In Xor?
Maybe.
Next door. The bot would work. Oh, that's what we think. And we're talking about, yeah, look at this delay here, Rory.
Yeah, this is the standard problem we've been having trying to come out of debug mode. Which, in all historical versions of Studio has been incredibly quick. You say stop, you're back. It's that quick.
Yeah, I'm not happy with it. It seems it actually even feels locked up at this point. Yeah, there we go. There's my click. I have a second instance of Visual Studio up right now because I discovered, oh, look, I can run test cases and Visual Studio doesn't block me from doing test cases if I open a second one up and don't tell it about the other one in the background that's got all the files locked, that's got, everything locked, because my tests are going to be, on things that I'm not going to change, so. So yeah, this is looking like I'm going to kill this. I am using the preview, as you can see right there, the preview version of Visual Studio. Dare I wait? I waited earlier today and it did come back. Look at that. Look at that while I was thinking about it. What was that?
It's
that was
listening to you.
30 seconds.
Keeping an eye.
Yeah.
At least 30 seconds. Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right, so let's do it again. I've got a breakpoint on activate scene. Let's see what happens now if we start this up. We're going to...
What things are starting when we say start? What's the current configuration?
I will show you if I can. If I can while it's doing these things. I think I can. Wait.
I don't know that we're able to now, but it's not...
There are build errors. Now this is
build errors anyway.
This is the problem now with this new TypeScript file, is that instead of this being useful, this is now causes anxiety. Because I don't know if my build errors are from that alone. And so now what I have to do is I have to come in here and I have to look at the file.
Oh, wow.
And scroll down and see.
That's not good, is it?
Yeah, it absolutely sucks is what it
Manual
does.
analysis of which errors count.
And then I have to go back and hit start again. And then I guess wait for it to do this. I posted a temporary hack above. Maybe you missed it. What is that? What do I got, Will?
There's a lot of drone flying, so yeah.
I think I missed it for sure. If you want to hide the errors, you can hack it by adding ooh. I like that. I'm all about that because that brings that other thing back. All right, so what happened? I hit run. What's going on? Oh, we're building still. Okay, right there to my left, right at the end of my finger there, you can see the little icon building there. Yeah, I'm all over that for now at least, because I want those errors to be real. Yeah. Excellent. Hey, everybody, thanks for helping me out of that dice canvas drawing problem. It's like sometimes I get into situations where I'm just like stuck and I can't move quickly. And I really appreciate that. Because
fresh eyes is always good, though, eh?
Yeah, no, I think it is. Also, I find just talking about something,
That's
right?
me, rubber duck.
What'd you say? You're the rubber duck? You're like just
Rubber duck.
You just squeak? Squeak.
No. It's a concept called rubber ducking, whereby it was decided that yes, it was incredibly valuable to pull a colleague over and talk to them about a problem, but very regularly you would actually discover the fault or the cause of the problem without any actual contribution from your colleague, and therefore it was suggested you could replace your colleague with a rubber duck sat on the desk that you regularly just talk to about what the problem was.
That's right.
And thus it has become called rubber ducking.
Rubber ducking, I love it. Is the beard mustache color new? Didn't recall seeing it yesterday. I think I had it yesterday. Might have been darker. I put it on yesterday morning, I think, and I refresh it about once a week, and so I think it may have been darker though, and then got lighter after it got washed. So all right, so that hack, by the way, is super happy to me, Will. Yeah, look at this. This delay is absolutely killing me to the point that I'm like about to take back everything I said about loving the previews. I suspect this is something unique to the preview and not anything else because, as I said, we mentioned, I think it started yesterday, right after I installed the latest preview of Visual Studio. So here we go. And now we're finally running. Yeah, it's painful. Painful. By the way, there was another Visual Studio related issue related to the www root folder, which has like 20,000 files in it. And because there's a whole bunch of PNGs is my understanding of what's causing most of those. And that was resulting in like a 5-minute delay for the right-click menu to appear if I right-clicked it. And also for running tests, there were problems with running tests too, which we saw. Okay, so now we've got Mr. AnnouncerBot. Do we see a message, Mr. AnnouncerBot, in the house? I did not see a message from Mr.
I did not see that. No.
Mr.
No,
AnnouncerBot
actually, I should have been on the
not
lookout for that earlier because I didn't see it for any of the previous ones
the
either.
house. All right, we've got a bigger problem. This is the thing running.
That is there, yeah.
Okay, that also means that if I try to...
Possibly, is this an issue just with, it could be a Twitch issue. It could be an issue with an inability for SignalR to contact whatever services it uses to communicate with the chat room.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, wait. Whoa. We got a breakpoint.
Breakpoint. Okay.
Well, why didn't Mr. AnnouncerBot say he was here? That I feel betrayed, is what I feel. By the way, got a great compliment back in the stream here from, who was it? I thought it was a recent one, too, but I'm not seeing it. The Michael Jolly is who I think it was, who said...
Oh, there he is. So many good streams going on right now. I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah, I was like, well, if I'm assuming that I'm not among the crappy streams Because why would you go to my stream to tell me that?
That'd be kind of harsh. You know, we'd just show up to say, yeah, there's good stuff over here. You guys suck.
Yeah.
So we're going to assume that maybe he's including us, yeah?
Yeah, so here we go. We're trying to do it looks like, what are we doing? We're activating the scene is what it looks like. Well, okay, then I'm going to run it.
Check out the chat room.
Okay, so it was a restart, essentially, that got us into where we wanted to be. All right, I'll take that. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, if you don't have CodeRush, you may be wondering, what are these things? This is CodeRush's debug visualizer feature, which shows you the values of things as you're stepping through the code there. Kind of a cool feature in CodeRush, which, by the way, we give away copy every episode. It's 10:41. We haven't done any coding yet. For goodness sakes, not any real coding, not any real, cutting edge, adventurous developer coding. Let me do this. I want to come in here and I want to do this. I want to just put this comment out right in here, like this, and I want to use. This is beautiful. Like this. I want to use. Like that.
But presumably we're going to have to do that quite a lot because there's no shortage of these errors of this particular kind.
Yeah, but you know what, Rory? Fortunately, I know a guy who can make anything I do sound good. His name is
good.
Rory Becker. And
This must be so awesome to have a guy like that.
He's going to explain the value of what I'm doing right now. Look at how fast I'm fixing these errors, kids.
The value of this, of course, is that we're marking it with the same comment each time, and you're doing it with a specific piece of information. So later on, when we want to remove these, we want to test that we can remove these. We can do a search replace for effectively null string and get rid of them very quickly.
So we're talking about, kids. Rory's amazing. You want him around all the time. Okay, so we're going to just ignore for Dice Manager. I'm going to just go that far. I'm almost done. Oh, what the heck? Let's go all the way. Let's do it. Here we go. Dice Manager. What else do we have? Whoops, there's one up there I missed. Like this. There we go. Holy cow, did we clear them all out? It looks like I got 16 here. What's this from? Maybe it just hasn't caught up.
That last one that you placed in there did not have a suffix of Dice Manager or Canon.
Oops, did I mess it up? Oh, I got some dice.
It just had the hyphen.
Okay, I'll fix that. Thanks. There it is, right there, Dice Manager. Okay, cool. Yeah, Wilbur says, Roy, I don't care what you say. You are my new attorney. Straight Butter says, our code teachers gave us a little rubber duck for debugging. That's kind of fun. Awesome. That is kind of fun. Wild Genie says, hi. Hello, Wild Genie out there. Good to see you. We'll go. I'm going to come back and worry. Whoa. 73? What? They went up?
Okay.
Hold on.
It's a little harsh.
Yeah, it's like somebody's very mean to me. Like, what is going on? What? Wait, what did I just do? What file was it? Was I in the wrong file? Was I in dice roller dot? No, I was in the right one. Did I just not do it here? What's happening? I thought it started at the top. No, I didn't.
Yeah,
it started
you got some there, but you didn't. No,
didn't start at the top. Okay, gotcha. All right, I'm going to come back. I'll fix it later. I'm not worried about that now. What I am worried about, or what I do want to do, is I want to create another test. I want to go into our test case. This is the Visual Studio instance running. This is the second Visual Studio instance with the same project loaded. See, I'm sneaky. See how I do this? I'm sneaky. Visual Studio is like, nothing's running, so of course, Mark, you can do what you want to do. I want to go and look at the mod tests again, and I want to create a second mod test. We have, in the Dungeons & Dragons app, we have the ability to add items with mods associated. This is for the Dungeons & Dragons game, and one of the ones I have is Breastplate. Breastplate has a very unusual mod. It basically sets your armor class, so here's the target name right here, sets your armor class to, let me move this over here, set your armor class to an absolute of 15, plus you can add your dexterity modifier with a limit of 2. So if your dexterity modifier is more than like 2, like it's 3 or 4, you can't get to a 19. You can only get to as the highest with the breastplate is a 17. I want to
Okay.
equip it. I want to test armor class, and then I want to. That's the test case I want to build on that. So let's build
This
that
is
test case.
exactly why you need test cases, because all the combinations of things that potentially we need to make sure are working correctly are too numerous for us to check manually each and every time we make a small change.
Yeah.
Just to have a test tweet, just to say, go. Please check all the things I've said should still work.
Yeah,
And sure enough, there they do.
Absolutely. So I'm going to use CodeRushed to build the test case. CodeRushed has got an awesome template for creating test cases. It's just the letter T. So T in a space like that is going to get me that test case now. Now I can say test breastplate like that. Why don't I think breastplate is lowercase p right there, like that. So that's what that is. I'm going to start with some of the code from up here. Got to get this and something like this. And I'm going to at least... I'm going to start with something like this. And I'm going to get, instead of building a test wizard, I'm going to build a test barbarian, because, you know, that makes sense in this scenario for what we're going to do. We're not going to grab the ring of leaping. We're going to get the breastplate instead. And we can get that using, just by grabbing it. So we've got this get existing item, and that's going to get this item right here. That also means if I change this, that means that the test case is going to break, which is, could be viewed as positive or negative. I'm viewing it as a positive because I actually think it's valuable to be able to have test cases against the data, right? To be able to essentially create test cases against the data so that if the data changes, we are alerted about it. So that's what we're going to do next. So we are going to test barbarian, and then we're going to say initial armor class, like that. We'll set that equal to 12. And then I'm going to come in here, test barbarian, and we're going to say base armor class, and I bet that's going to fail.
Yeah, I don't recall us having that.
And it's going to be equal to initial armor class. And that's going to totally fail because we need to create that. So let's go into our character. Actually, it's our creature, which is over here. I'm just drilling into this. By the way, CodeRushed drops markers for me so I can just get back quickly like that by hitting escape when I drill into something. So I'm just drilling in here to creature, and we want to look at find armor class. There it is right there. There's armor class. Let's see what's going on with this. Anything inside the class? Nope. I hit tab to next reference. It took me out into monster. Look at, I'm in monster. I'm going to hit shift tab to get back. I'm back in creature. So that means there's no other reference to armor class inside of here. That means I am going to rename this to base armor class, I think. Is that sufficient? Let's run through everything and see where we're doing it here. Test barbarian, that one's okay. Monster, get damage from attack. This one I want to actually reference the actual armor class of it. So I'm going to hit escape to get back, hit tab to next reference, continue going through it. I think I want this to be the property access as well. So I haven't built property access in here yet, but I'm going to. That also means that charisma, let's see, speed. Charismas are accessing the property, but speed I think is not. Why is speed not here? Why am I not
Base speed, it's there.
Oh, it's base speed?
It's where it should be alphabetically as a speed, but it's
Oh, it was close,
next
to
to strength.
Oh, there it is right there. Okay,
Yeah.
great. I want to change that to be also the property. So we're comparing the calculated speed. Yes, what? I think you have the wrong case on the property in the test. The test we just created, that's totally possible. The wrong case? Wait, I'm not sure what you mean by test breastplate. I'm not sure what you mean by that, the wrong case on the property.
Does it mean the plate, so capital P, or?
No, I don't think. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Know where you were before.
The other test where you're comparing does the load save work? You've got capital A on armor class,
right?
Where everything else doesn't. But isn't that because it's going to be a property?
Yeah, it's going to be property. I haven't built it in yet, so that's why that's failing. So yeah, so there's base armor class. Then what I want to do is I want to come down and I want to create a property that looks like very similar to this right here. So we're going to say this is going to be the base armor class like that, and we're going to call this armor class like that. And we've already got this declared. We don't need that. And then we're going to say get mods. And get mods is going to, it's got this super cool caller member name attribute on it, so that if key is null, it's going to pass in the member name, which means it's going to pass in armor class. And then we're going to be able to get the calculated mod for that based on the key. Looks like I started the test runner maybe by mistake. I think I do that sometimes if I hit looking for Control S to save and I hit Control T first and then correct with the Control S afterwards. I think that's what's going on. Well, the fastest way to stop that is to come over here. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's running. It looks like maybe we're okay. All right, so
I think you're finished. I think all your tests pass.
So now what we can do is we can now come in here and we can say test barbarian dot equip breastplate. And we also want to do this. We want to say, hey, we want to say assert equal, and the expected value is going to be the initial armor class, and the actual value is going to be test barbarian dot armor class. Right? Those two should be
because
equal.
No modification so far.
Right.
Or no mod in place.
Yes.
Therefore, they should be exactly equivalent.
Right, and then now the other thing we need to do is we need to set the base dexterity as well, and we need to set that equal to I think 12, and that's going to give us a mod, a dexterity mod of 1. Well, let's just do this. Let's do this. Let's say VI and say dexterity mod is equal to test barbarian dot dexterity. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, that's okay. Dexterity minus 10 divided by 2.
These are doubles rather than ints.
Fine. Just type in TD and spacebar, T for type and D for double, and CodeRushed will get that for me. Okay, and we can do this too if you want. I think I did change them, even though in Dungeons & Dragons they're ints. I was like, well, let's make them doubles, just in case. And so there's my dexterity mod right there. That should be a 1. So this is the Dungeons & Dragons formula for mods, if I'm recalling correctly. That means later on, after we equip, we are expecting it to be 15, which is the breastplate absolute. So we'll just do, so we're going to say the breastplate absolute AC. We'll set that equal to 15 like that. And so we are going to want this is going to be equal to this plus our calculated dexterity mod.
1, we believe, but it is obviously available in dexterity mod, yeah.
And we have to do a math dot I'm always getting these confused here. Hold on a second. I'm going to probably do the wrong one.
Well, no, it's minimum of. Oh, hang on.
It's that. It's max of 2.
That, yeah.
I got it right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and that looks like that's behind my head there a little bit. Let's scroll that up a bit so you can see that.
Except if it's the max of that, won't it be potentially 5 or 6? Because dexterity mod could be really high. And you said it should be a maximum of 2.
Jeez. I fixed it.
There you go.
We're just going to be quiet. We're not going to talk about what just happened.
I don't know. Nothing happened. Don't worry.
Nobody's going to say anything. All right.
We're not going to talk about what.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I always get these mixed up in my head. I always do. I feel like I need like a day of lessons. I wonder if my kids could teach me. And so now, after this, we're expecting it to be 15 plus whatever the dexterity mod is, limited to 2 on the new one afterwards. That's what we're expecting it to be. I'm pretty sure this is going to fail because we haven't written any code yet to deal with that absolute.
Okay.
So let's run it and see what happens. Oh, that's not good.
Passed 0, failed 0, ignored 0.
Last time
we didn't do so much testing there.
No, we did not. Let's see if we can debug it. See if we've got a yesterday when this happened. What? I can't debug it? What's my output looking like? I like the test run time. That's usable.
Yeah.
Is it because Visual Studio doesn't like what I've tricked it, that I'm actually running in this? Come on, one more time. Let's see what my output is here. Test runner. Let's go to tests. Intersectors. Where exception was thrown. Unable to write data to the transport connection. An established connection was aborted by the software in your host machine. I wonder if that's related to, I guess maybe I can't run it at the same time. Is that why Mr. Announcer Bot wasn't working or something like that? I wonder if those are related. That's making me sad. Do I now have to stop this? Sad. I'm sad. I cannot
Does
run
it feel unable to run simply because there are the errors in the other part of the system, which...
Well, let's look at this. Let's bring this up.
I would have expected a much clearer error, though, if that was the case.
Well, we've got other errors, too, in here. Yeah, I got a bunch of null references
reference or two.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see if... yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is all... Yeah, it's all in the Visual Studio test platform communication stuff. So whatever they're doing to communicate, what it was working before, not working now. I have one more idea. And that idea is this. Close this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say out loud, don't worry, Visual Studio, there's only one instance of you running. Then go to the taskbar quietly, secretly, click on a button there. I'm not going to say which one it is because, I'm sure Visual Studio's got it's monitoring what I'm saying right now, and already the sentience abilities are suspicious of this kind of talk. We're only going to be able to do this for like a few more years, Rory, before the robot overlords are like, I know what you're talking about.
Well, that's it. Yeah,
you're not going to be able to overthrow us, Mark. So
we're going to have to communicate with some other non-verbal mechanic.
It's my squeaky chair, Surly Dev. It's mine.
It could be mine too.
No,
mine is very squeaky.
It's mine. Mine is, by the way, Roy, can you get the link to the desk?
The desk.
The walking desk out here so people can see my chair. All right, so I am now starting a second instance of Visual Studio, and we're going to see what happens here. See if maybe we can coerce it without having to kill all the other stuff. There you go. That link right there, Surly Dev, will get you somewhere in there a picture of my desk and my chair. And actually, I'm going to click on that link and bring it up here so you can see it. Here we go. And Rory's coming up just on the time for departure. I don't understand. I'm just going to click over here on the... you can't see it. It's hidden behind the chair here. So there's my chair. That's what I meant. That chair is mounted on that platform right there.
That is worrying as a statement.
No, it's awesome.
That works, does it?
This platform is so efficiently built. I think I even talk about it.
What could possibly go wrong?
No, it is so strong and sturdy and efficiently built with the fewest screws because I live in Costa Rica and they don't have a hardware store open on a Sunday when I built this, or even a Saturday after 3. They're closed. And so there's only like 2 screws, I think, at each point or one, and it's incredibly. This is my redesign. This is what I wanted to do for version 2 because I want to make it easier to get on top of it. But it's not bad. It's a fun desk.
Just don't lean anywhere.
Yeah, it's a fun desk. It's very cool. So anyway, there's my desk, and that's what I'm sitting at right now. I expect to see Mark disappear down. Yeah, I can do that. I can totally when I get down. Is that a platform or did Karen build a gallows? Ha ha.
Ooh.
Okay, let's see if I can run the test. Can we try that?
That'd be good.
Let's see if we can do it. And Roy,
Passing test.
Roy, I would like to have at least the start of a problem here before you go. Buddy, I feel like I don't say this enough. I appreciate you so much for being here. I think you make this show so much more fun and what else should I say? And enjoyable. The Michael Jolly would not be here at all if it weren't for you. I tell you that much. He'd be like, yeah, it's just Miller.
You've been practicing this, Mark. You're getting really good at it.
Am I? Well, I do.
Yeah.
I feel like it's good.
Yeah.
It leads to happiness.
It's almost entirely impossible to tell it's completely faked.
It is not faked, sir. Looks like Wild Genie cheered. Thank you so much for that cheer. I got to figure out something to do with the cheers and stuff like here. Get a charity or something. I've been like, yeah, I'm not. When I first signed up for this, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do anything with money. And then I'm thinking, well, I should do something with it. I should just figure out what to do. So I got a not responding. I don't know that's gonna turn into. I think I got to install the regular version of Visual Studio. And
well, as I understand, you can do that in parallel with the preview version. That's the great part about it.
That's what we saw.
It'll take a little time to do. So yeah, you'd be able to switch between the two potentially.
Yeah, I'm not happy about this. All right, buddy. Let's give away copy CodeRushed while we're waiting.
Let's do that.
Want to hang around for at least that part?
Yeah.
CodeRushed giveaway.
All right. Today's winner is
Legendary Moo.
Legendary Moo. No, Moo. Legendary Moo. And notice the spelling of dairy. It's awesome. Yeah, Surly Dub says that's an awesome desk setup. Yeah, it's not bad. I like it. It's funny. I was talking to Steve Smith, and he's got a walking desk too. And he's like, "Why didn't you just, take the wheels off the chair and then put it on the treadmill itself?" And I looked at his setup, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I looked at it, and because it seemed like a much simpler setup, and this looks like it's not returning from that test run. Just FYI, we're over here in this world still running. Yeah, I just switched. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm not sure what's happening over here. He was walking, looked very disconcerting. Yeah, I have not walked yet live. Part of the reason why is when I walk, I push the desk, need to push the desk forward. And as I push it forward, here, I'll do it. You can see the green screen and the backgrounds start to appear. See what's going on there? And the lights and all of that. So I'm just going to bring it back here and maintain this illusion. I don't think we're coming out of this, is what I think. So Legendary Moo, congratulations. I'm going to reach out to you on Twitch, direct messaging, the whispering technology. And we're going to get you instructions. Look at that. It came back. Wow. And we got a breakpoint. I just want to slap somebody. I don't know whose fault this is for this delay, but I'm not happy with it. But here we go. We're finally in, and okay, we changed our dexterity changed from a 9 to a 12. Dexterity mod is a 1. That seems right. Base armor class is that. Are they equal? Nope. Let's equip. Let's do this. See if we can do this. Click here to evaluate the value. That's right by my head. I'll scroll it up a bit. Let's see what happens when we do that. 12. Nice. So now, without getting the exception, we know we're going to have a problem. Let's drill in and let's set a breakpoint inside of here, and then we'll step over the code. I'm going to hit F10 right here, and we should get right into it. There we go. Good. Now let's go in and get to mods. And now the key is armor class. Recalculate mods if necessary. And get calculated mod. So I'm going to do this to recalculate it. Then we're going to go in here, and we're going to come in here. There's the key string. If it contains that key string armor class, we're going to do that, and it does not. So wait. That's okay. No, I know what the problem is yet, but I'm trying to figure out where the solution is. I think I need the solution up here. And I think I need the solution to be basically if absolute mod exists. Is that it? No, wait. Let's do this. Let's say get abs. Let's do this instead. Get absolute. I think that's what I want. And that's going to be a double. And we're going to call this absolute. And I'm going to have to do this everywhere, I think. Although I've only encountered absolute in this one category of items in Dungeons and Dragons. So maybe we only need that for now. But basically it's going to be like this. And then we're going to say we need to have another double right here, which we're going to say call it maybe this armor class, like that. And we're going to say that we'll set it equal to the base armor class for now. But then we're going to say, hey, if absolute is greater than 0, Then we're going to say this armor class is equal to absolute. Then we're going to come in and grab the mods, because we still could have mods on top of that. And there's another piece here as well that we have to work with. And that other piece is this, the add modifier. It would be added to that, right? So it is a modifier and it's limited by this. So that would be, we have to accommodate for this as well in our call to get mods, which we haven't done that yet. So let's go look at get mods. I'm going to duplicate this line of code, do that, get absolute is now here. So it's got the same kind of caller member name right there. We're going to do this, and I guess I'll do recalculate mods if necessary, same kind of thing. And then we're going to say get calculated, get absolute mod. So we can return 0 if it's not defined, and then otherwise we're going to do this. Then we're going to go find it's right up at the top of the page, right? Get calculated mod is there. Duplicate that, get absolute mod, key. All right, there we go. Now what we want to calculated mods dot contain. Oh, did I move? I totally blew it, didn't I? No worries. No worries. No worries, no worries, no worries. Yeah. Surly Dev says, I'm listening, by the way, to Steve Smith's weekly dev tips at the moment, binging on them. Keep the wheels and the roll on the conveyor belt. Oh, yeah. So I think putting the chair on the treadmill goes against the point of the treadmill. Well, I was a little worried about it just from the damage of it. But for me, the reason I couldn't do that is because I'm so much taller than Steve Smith is. And I needed to have the desk at the same height. And so I could not get that, at least after I saw his design, I couldn't really get it to work. But I'm a huge fan of my design. I really like it. And I've been working like this for, I want to say about 4 years now. About 4 years I've had this. But yeah, the desk price is a consideration though. Yeah, I think the total price was about $2,000 for everything, all the pieces, the treadmill, that sort of thing. But the truth is, sitting kills you. Sitting for long periods of time will kill you, and eventually. And so that's part of what we're trying to solve as well. So I'm going to say let's do this in here. This is going to be equal to, I think, absolute. I'm changing the key for absolute, so if it's a different kind of key, I think I've got this out here somewhere. Let's see if that's the case. Did I add that or not? Oh yeah, and I've got a delay on the find too as well. Get absolute mod. Nope, it's only there. Okay. Well, that's weird. Okay. All right, so let's see. Oh, look at this. I got to note the time. Give me a second here to note the time. I've got a marker remaining after I collected it right there. So, yep, those markers. So there's one, it collected that one, but not the others. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, the markers are the selection markers are not cleaning up here right now in this. Okay. All right, so there's my get absolute mod is there. Where am I? Where am I in the code? What's my edit? What's my problem? Ooh. Oh my gosh, is this really stopping edit and continue? It looks like it might be. Then Dice Manager's the last one. Look at those cleaning up right there. Right. Now can I edit and continue? Can I hit F10 now? What am I edit? What are my problems? It's saying no, I cannot, but not telling me what the problems are then. Yeah. Okay. All right. So edit and continue says no thanks. Let's go. Yeah, I have a standing desk here at home, says Straight Butter. Last place of work, let me take one home. Oh, the last place you worked at, let you take one home. That's awesome. Yeah. Oh, and you've got one, next door has got a standing desk at work with motors. So I was looking into those too. Those were also pretty expensive. I think those were about between $1,000 and $2,000. And I think that ultimately I was like, it doesn't move enough high enough for me, just because I'm 6'4", so I'm taller than most people. I think I did look into that, and I was like, kind of like, hey, I don't think I'm going to do that. But the desk was like over $1,000, and I still needed to be able to have a treadmill underneath. So yeah. IKEA does one with motors for about 400 to 420 pounds. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, the pictures of the desk, that's the one I'm sitting at right now. That is the one. So when we did, if you go to the highlights of the show, which, let's see if I can bring these up right here. Where are the highlights of the show? I was going to try to find actually maybe somebody else can find it. Maybe Will, you can find it, or somebody else out there. Find the highlight where I'm blowing stuff up from the show. You can see there's my desk in the background in that shot. Let's see. Yeah, there we go, videos. Let me bring this up so you can see what I'm looking at here at least. There we go. That's the one right there. Copy link. Paste that. You run the whole stream off your laptop? Nope. It's all run off the laptop. That's the one right there. So there's the desk in the background. By the way, the power supply that you see in this picture here, to the right of the mouse, that power supply is also on the desk. In fact, it's on the desk right now to my left. So the desk is loaded with stuff all the way from left to right, including stuff that's kind of heavy. And but yeah, it's pretty functional. It's pretty functional, pretty fun stuff. Okay. Surly Dev says for 179 pounds or 190 pounds for manual handles, or 475 for one with motors. Oh yeah. Rory did leave. Did the promise of awesome not tempt him to say yeah? Well, the part of the problem is that Rory and I are going to record later today some CodeRushed Feature of the Week videos, which we haven't done in a while, and so he's got to come back again. So we're taking him from his family, and his family are like, no. Okay, so let's go to, where were we? I think we were in Creature, and the calculate mods is what I want to look at. Which I guess is here. Calculate mods for item. There we go. Calculate mods for the mod. Here it is right here. Oh, we put the ab.absolute at the end of it, not the beginning. Okay, so cool. Let's do this. Let's declare this as a constant. And there's my absolute piece. Let's go back out, find absolute. Here we go. Get absolute. That's going to be the key we're looking for. So let's set a breakpoint there. Let's go back, see if we can run the mod test. Are we going to be looking at this screen for a long time? I have a feeling we will. Let's see if I say edit, there's nothing in the error list. All right, so let's just go ahead and we'll stop. All right, I'm going to do something else. I said I was going to do something fun today anyway. So let's look at this. So this is my mock-up right here. This is going to circle around the ball. While we're waiting on that, let's go bring up the, I'm going to bring up the die roller test here, and which is going to roll a die for me. I'm going to take a screenshot of my OBS, which gives me the stream, because I want to figure out how big that die is right there. Let's go back over, get rid of the die now that I've got my screenshot. I want to see how big that die is at its current in its current state. I'm going to take that screenshot I took. Here we go, right here. Come in here. We're going to crop out just that piece right there. And I just need a kind of an approximate for this. It doesn't have to be perfect. So there's that. Now this is not scaled, so now I need to scale it to 1920. And yeah, it's not quite cropped correctly, but now what we can do actually is we can actually compare one against the other. There's the die right there. I can come in and I can save this out to another file, and we're going to call this dice background. And then I can drag that dice background into Adobe Premiere and have it show up underneath like that. Now, all I need to do, now I've got up at the top here, hold on, I've got this, I was also playing with this idea of a kind of a flare going across it as well. And I'm kind of taking that out for now, and I'm just going to work on the fireball. So there's my fireball right there. And in the background is the picture of a fireball. So what I want to do is I want to get the scale of this thing so it just totally fits over one of these dice. That's what I'm looking for right here. So I'm just going to adjust the scale down. So that's it right there. Let's just play it. See how it looks. Nice. Yeah, that's hot. So that's super cool. With some sound effect, I think that's going to look very, very cool. All right. So so we're going to do this. We're going to kind of go back and forth. When we have to wait for Visual Studio, we'll come over and work on this. Still got some problems here. What is going on? Build. Even though I've got that there, that doesn't make sense to me. Does not make sense. And what's this one? Oh, this is the one that's not responding. This is the one that's running. Okay, so there's the one that's running. The one that's not responding is still not responding. Yeah. I feel like I'm going to close that down. All right, let's stick over here and we'll work in Adobe Premiere for a while. All right, so let's see if we can do this. I'm going to take this and I'm going to drag it into... How do I bring this in? I forget what their UI does here. Stacked panel group. Not sure what that's going to do. Not what I wanted. Not what I was expecting. And now I don't know how to get rid of that. It's kind of interesting. It kind of gave me something at the very beginning, and oh, there, it's over here. If I close it, I just get rid of it. That's not good. And I want it over here, window. What is that? It's program monitor. Okay. Okay, better. Wait, did I just dock it? There, I docked it. Okay, great. Somehow I docked it. Now I've got docking. Okay, great. Let's put it over here. And let's do this so we can see the pieces. All right, so there's my fireball. It's going to basically going to calculate the center of it. We're going to put it over the dice, and it's going to look like that. I'm not sure if I should rotate this 90 degrees and have it come up. I kind of like it going from the side like this, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Surly Dove says, I think I'll tweet Roy and tell him he's missing out on all kinds of awesome. Straight Butter says, wow, I thought it would take quite a bit of horsepower to do the stream and everything else. It does take a lot of horsepower. My machine is a beast. It is probably, at least the time I got it, which was about 6 months ago, it was the most powerful laptop I could buy for under $6,000 is what it was. There was nothing else that came close to it, and everything else that was more powerful, I think, was over 10,000, I think. So it's crazy powerful. It has 2 power supplies in the back. The bricks are giant for each of the power supplies, and these power supplies cannot be purchased anywhere quickly. I went to New York once, forgot my power supplies, and I was looking at building my own from scratch, but I couldn't find a power supply jack that fit the back of the laptop, and that stopped me dead from powering my laptop. The thing takes a ton of amps going in. Yeah, Shirley Dev says for 6,000, I would not take that anywhere. Well, whenever I leave the house, I take it with me. I don't. If somebody can rob the house, they can take whatever they want, but they're not taking my laptop. That they're going to have to actually pry from my cold, dead hands. All right. So anyway, let's look at this right here. I am feeling that's pretty good. You know what I want to do though? I want to get some blue in here. I think I want to do. So now this is a little bit more of we're doing a little less programming and more design work here, but I want a little more blue off to the left of this right here. So I'm just going to duplicate the fireball. I've got a hue variance right here. I'm going to vary that hue, but then I'm also going to add in a crop filter to this. So I'm going to bring this crop in here. I'm going to crop from the right side in here. In fact, it's going to be easier if I just click this and now drag it, crop that over to about there. And let's zoom in here so you can see this. Let's go in here. So there's that sharp line. And now I'm going to edge feather that like this. And maybe bring it a little more over like this. And now let's see how that looks here if we do this without the, if I click away here and we run it. Yeah, I like it. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I want to edge feather that a little more. So it's more of a transition there. And bring it a little more over like that. There we go. Just a hint of blue on the side. Nice. Nice. All right. So that's so good. So there's my artwork right there. Basically, it's a video that I took. There was I think a color key inside of it. Is that right? Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's inside the fireball. Yeah. So here's the fireball. I've got a couple different things going on in the fireball here. And there's the color key right there. If I turn off the color key, then all of a sudden you get black backgrounds and things like that going on here. And so what I've done is I've got different layers here of the same video image to try to make it look realistic, because the original video image was against a black background. And so when I do it this way, we're going to get like this, and it's going to look like this. By the way, when Adobe Premiere plays, it plays at a lower resolution, so it looks a little yuckier. But if I freeze, you'll see it'll clean up each frame here individually for me. Yeah, I think that's going to be good for rolling a 20. 20. Something like that is going to happen. Okay, now what I need to do is I need to generate this. So I'm going to get rid of the background. Let's take a look at Visual Studio out here. Oh, look at that. Thinks CodeRushed is the problem. Well, that would be awesome, because then we can fix it. Could be. Let's take a look at the time on here. I'll mark that. Oh, I would love for that to be the case. 3 to 38 seconds. All right, we'll take a look at that. and see what's going on with that. Maybe that's something we can reproduce. Okay, need to play the Wilhelm scream for a roll of 1. Yeah, I haven't figured out. Hey, Hugo, welcome here as well. It's good to have you out here. Straight Butter says, need to play the Wilhelm scream for a roll of 1. I'm not sure what we're going to do for a roll of 1. I want it to be something similarly, emphasizing the craptastic nature of it, but I'm not sure what that is, what that's going to be. Since we're back over here, let's go back and keep going here. Or should I? If it in fact is CodeRushed, so I expected it wasn't CodeRushed. Let me go in here. Let's try a disable of this and restart here. Let's disable for a second and see if that does fix our problem. Let's close and restart. And so that's loading back up. We'll go back while that's loading. We will go back over into Adobe Premiere. And so I've disabled the 2 background pieces here. And then there's our fireball. Whoops. There's our fireball. Now what we have to do though is we need to, right now this fireball is rendered on a 1920 by 200 video. What we need to do is we need to crop this thing down. And there's no great way to do this in Adobe Premiere Pro. So I'm just going to come into sequence settings and work my way down here. So I'm going to say, why is the frame size so wide? That's interesting. Okay. Must have been what I was starting with. So I'm going to estimate that this is about 800 wide and about 600 tall for now. And we'll see what that does.
No!
Right there. Oh yeah, something like that. No, yeah, I haven't quite figured it out. I'm thinking about a lot of things. I've got glass breaking. I've got this idea of a wah, wah, wah sound. I really haven't figured it out yet. All right, let's try this. And yeah, this operation cannot be undone. Okay, I get you. Okay, not bad. Let's play it, make sure everything fits still. I think it will when we move it. So I'm going to take these 2 right here. Whoops. Because it's easier to move them both together if I nest them. And so we're going to say this is the blue pink fireball, because it's got the blue and the pink in it, like that. Now that I've nested these, I can come up here and I can position it so it fits more on screen, like maybe that. And let's run it and see what happens. See if it all fits. Okay, not good that the that it's cropped on the right side. Right here it gets to a square kind of ending. So to fix that, I'm going to drop a crop on that, and bring it in, and then feather that like crazy, so it kind of blends, so it kind of fades out is what I'm looking for that to do. There's the feather, I think right there, that'll do that. And let's see the thing behind it and make sure that's the case. It's a little sharp still. There. I think that's going to do it. Okay, so let's look at that now. Okay, so that is pretty good. Let's move the dice background around so we've got the dice underneath it, right about there. Let's try it now. What is going on here? It's like, really? What's going on with that? Wait. Oh, it just hadn't rendered it? It just hadn't rendered it yet. Okay, it's just having a rendering issue with it. Okay, so we're good. It's just taking a while to render it. And I believe that's the case. So that one's rendered. That one's not. Now it's rendered. Yeah, it's just taking a while to render. Okay. All right, and then it fades away. All right, so I can now take a little bit more off of this now. So we're just going to come back in, sequence settings. Height, I'm going to drop down to 500. And the frame size, I'm going to move to 750. And I'm doing this because these are going to create PNG files of this size. And so that's what I'm trying to do here, is trying to keep those PNG files small. Let's move this over a little bit. So there, we can definitely take down the, take this down, I think a little bit, maybe take it to 720. We can take this to maybe 400. See how we're doing here. Oh, got a low-level exception that occurred inside of here. Move that down, move that over. And I think we can continue to work our way down here. 300. I think I'm going to go even to 700 here. See what we got. That's fitting better. That's got to come down to there. Where you had it with the circle around the die was perfect, I feel. Well, yeah, I'm going to move the die too, but I have to, because of the nature of the software, is it's the positioning right now doesn't matter. We're going to actually write the code that positions it. Here, I can just do this here like that. What I'm trying to do is get the size of this thing so my PNG files are not excessively large, because I suspect that those are going to have a problem. Those are going to cause a problem with resources, is what I suspect it's going to do. I'm going to just do one last one because I am like, I think everybody's like, wait, really? Aren't you close enough? I'm going to take this to 680. 670, I think, and click OK on that. I feel pretty good about that height. It's pretty tight. And now let's see what we got here. That's good, good. I think that's good all the way through. I think that's good, good, good. The other thing I think I want to do here is I think I want to play with opacity a little bit. I want to say, let's, as I come down to here, drop opacity down to there. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let's even start dropping opacity here. So now let's watch it. That's pretty good. Will Bennett says he obsesses with the details. Don't spill any rice. He'll count all the grains. Yeah, that could happen, I suppose. All right, so let's shorten this because we don't want any extra. All of that looks good. And now we're going to take out the background and we're going to generate this. So now here's our effect. Oh, is it just a little bit too far to the right? It was. So we're going to do that. There we go. I love it. Okay, cool. So now let's create it. And let's see here. This is what we're doing. We want to use an export of PNG. And we want to put this thing, we want to go find our game. Let's see, do I have one of these up here? I think I do. Nope, not that one. I'm looking for a folder already. That's close. This one's close. Assets, Dragon H. And now we're going to say, should this be dice? I think it's dice. And then we're going to in here call this one Roll20 Fireball. Like that. Okay, so that's my path. And let's go there instead. And then we're going to just say, what should I call this thing? Fireball? Die fireball? Fireball. That's what I think I'm going to call it. Dice fireball, like that. Okay, and save it. And then choose export. And now we can see it's putting them out there. Looks like the first frame didn't have anything at all in it. Also, it's running a lot of frames. It's over 100 based on the numbers that I'm seeing here. So the cool thing about that is it's incredibly smooth animation. The downside is it's sucking up a lot of resources. I think I want to clean that up a bit, is what I think I want to do. And so let's do this. Let's take this. Critical Role of 20, yeah. Let's do this, and I want to shrink this down. Oh yeah, it's at 5 seconds. I like my animations being about 2 seconds long or less. So let's do that instead. Let's turn on the background and see how that looks in terms of timing. Not as cool. Admittedly, not as cool. All right, let's bump it up to 3 seconds. See what we got here. I can live with that. 3 seconds I can live with. All right, let's shorten all these as well. What's going on? Nothing here. So this one, I want to remove the one to the left, the frame to the left. Now I've got that done. And are there any frames here? Hold on, let's see what's going on. Let's go look here. How many frames at the end were black? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6. 6 were at the end, so I'm going to go back from the end here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What? These have stuff in them. I'm going to clean up that, kill that. It could have been also that there was something else that was extending a little bit farther beyond the edge of this that caused those extra 6 frames to be generated. Okay, so one more time. Turn this off, turn that one off. Why do these call it a dice fireball? Oh, that's what I called it. Okay, great. All right, so let's go to my roll 20 fireball. Let's select all of these, delete those, and we're going to call it dice fireball again, like that. And export. All right, that's exporting. Let's go into, this is my new version of Visual Studio right here. Oh, and look at, because I've turned off CodeRushed. That's why I can't do the test stuff. So that means I've got to go with the test runner. All right, here we go. The mod tests, test breastplate, debug. Yeah, I don't think it's CodeRushed that was causing the delay. And the Visual Studio team, they blamed us, but I don't think it's us. Yeah, you can enter the competition Surly Dev just by following. Just follow, and we give your odds of winning are about 1 in 6. All right. So let's see what we got. So looks like that is generated. Let's look at those fireballs out there. What's this? That's from Visual Studio. Yeah, still not responding. Do not blame CodeRushed, sir. Kind sir. All right, yeah, the odds are not bad. The odds are not bad, and we keep doing shows, and you know, every day, so it's not bad. All right, so yeah, the preview's has got a problem in it, and I think it's a problem with my. I suspect it has something to do with this particular project because one of the folders has got like 20,000 files in it, and I think something in Visual Studio is iterating through those folders. I just thought of something I could do. Okay, there we go. It just broke out of it. I just thought of something I could do, though, that might fix this, because I did something similar before. Let's close that down. Let's come over here. Where is Overlay Manager? www.root, exclude from project. I wonder if that's going to help me. I added a few files from it, but I think it got really upset by adding those files. All right, so let's go through and step through the code, see what we're doing here. Okay, are they equal? This we're expecting. Get absolute is expected to return a big fat 0. Let's just go in here. Code calculated mods has nothing in it, so it's going to return 0. And so we're going to just return normal. And here we go again. Armor class, get absolute. Recalculate the mods, get absolute mod. Does it. Contain it. Armor class dot absolute. And it is. So yes, nice. And so now we're going to return that. That should be a 15. Is it? It's a 1. That's not okay. Well, this is weird. Look at this. The mouse is... oh, and I don't have CodeRushed. Ah, yeah, that's going to hurt. Okay. And find has got the same delay that we noticed before, too. So, yeah. All right. So yeah, there's definitely a problem with this preview build. I'm gonna, between now and tomorrow, I will get a new version of it. Yeah, look at the find. I've never seen this before, except for in this build. I've seen it in this build. All right. Okay. I'm gonna Alt-Tab over. Back to our Fireball here, and we can take a look at the images that it generated for us over here. So we've got all these PNGs, and we've got fewer than 100 of them. And I think it's looking good. That plus a special sound effect should look really good. So what I want to do is I want to find out where the 20-sided dice has landed on screen and put this right over it when it's a 20. That's essentially my goal is, what I'm looking to do, and may not get that done today, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. Marcus, CodeRushed in the same category as ReSharper. It is, yes, they're very similar. I know just a little bit about ReSharper, but CodeRushed looks pretty damn awesome. Yeah, there's actually some cool features in the product. I'm actually disappointed that I have shut it down in here. I'm thinking about. Oh, yeah, now I got to come back in here and do it. Is it going to work now? Now it's fast. Okay. So here's the piece right here. If absolute is on, oh, I see. There's my bug right there. So my bug is that. It's not add the multiplier. I have to add the absolute. That's my bug. That's why it was a 1 and not the number I was expecting it to be. Are you going to tell me what's wrong? Nothing's wrong. Okay. So let's stop that and see if we can start up another one. Will it be faster now is the question, now that I've removed that project. I'm not getting a great feeling about it because that find took so long. But let's go to mod test again. Let's come back over here. Why does it... Oh, it thinks it's still running? Cancel? Okay. Run selected. Or actually, I want to debug last run. Let's do that. Change my breakpoint to here. while we're doing that, let's go back and turn CodeRushed back on, since we know it's not the problem. I feel so betrayed. Okay, enable. So that'll be on the next one we open. So last thing I did is I said debug last test, and so now we're just kind of, I guess, waiting. What's happening? Why didn't it do it? Let's debug selected test. Maybe nothing started. Surly Dev says, I had CodeRushed years and years ago, and it was very, very happy with it. And I learned some nifty .NET features as a result of using it because of the suggestions it showed for the refactorings. Hugo says, it is, as they're, oh, he's just answering the question of is the same categories or sharper. Yeah. CodeRushed is so much better at templates, it's not even funny. Yeah, CodeRushed templates are really well built. I've been working on the templates for almost 20 years. Originally, they started as a set of templates for programming in Delphi before .NET came out in 2002. But we basically ported them over to C# in 2002, and we've been refining them. Just some crazy, really powerful things. I can't show you right now because I've disabled it in this instance of Visual Studio. So there we go. We got a 0 for this time. And I'm going to hit run. And now we're here. And now the armor classes says it's now at 15, which is definitely close, but it's not plus the dexterity mod of 1, which we're expecting because we have to do the second piece. But the fact that armor class is now telling me that it is 15 is great. That means we're coming in here, returning the calculated mod for that key string. Armor class absolute is being found. And there it is. So we're good. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Let me just, this, we're going to have to change this a little bit because of that other rule I talked about, that Dungeons and Dragons rule, which basically says you can add a modifier to whatever we're targeting here based on one of these selections here. So if that's the case, we can do that. So that's what we're looking to do next is adding modifier. Yeah, and we got that unhandled exception. We got it. Okay. Okay. It was good, though, 19 minutes, I think, from custom feature suggestion to implementation. It looks so wonderfully configurable, programmable. Yeah, it's not bad. Will Bennett says +1 for VS Code. Will there be a CodeRushed for VS Code? We are looking into that. We are running tests and things like that. I have put a hold on a second here. Let me go to my blog. Wait, I think I can do this. I want to search for let's see here, CodeRushed. I'm not seeing what I was looking for here. I think it might be in here. There's an issue I want about VS Code. Let's do this. Hold on. There's one other. Yeah, I'm not finding it as quickly as I wanted to. Let me try one more thing. Just searching through mail right now. There it is. Okay, here it comes. This. So one of the things that we're trying to do is we're trying to port over a lot of the features that we have. And one of the ones we want to be able to port out is the ability to show images inside of source code. And we need VS Code to make a couple changes. And so I have put this out here, and if you can upvote this, we got 42 upvotes so far. If you can add your upvotes out there to it, that can help us out, because basically we're blocked from being able to do super cool things inside of there. In addition to that, we also have the LaTeX engine as well. I'm going to open up a third instance of Visual Studio now so we can show you and I'm going to close this one down right here that has, that doesn't have CodeRushed in it, because it doesn't seem to be slowing things down. It seems to be Visual Studio. Thanks for the upvote, Straight Butter. Appreciate it. Thanks, Hugo. Appreciate it as well. I think I was going to go over into what I was working on earlier, which is the die roller here. One of the new features that I also like, that's kind of similar to the that I want to bring to VS Code as well, I think it's super unique, is the formatting of formula comments right here. So there you can see there's the target speed right there that you can see right there. And this is a LaTeX formula. So from here to here is LaTeX, which allows you to do all kinds of things, like doing limits and products and summations, things like that. So it's kind of a cool way to render formulas, and it's super compact. There's no image associated with it. It's all right there in the source code. You can change the font. This is the font control right here, so I can make it like 5, for example, there, and make it really big if I wanted to, or 1, and make it pretty tiny, like that. So, so yeah, kind of cool stuff. And we've also built, in order to make this easy, like say I wanted to say it's 1 divided by that. So I can just take this, cut that to the clipboard, and I can type in /F. Oh, you know what? I don't have those templates here in TypeScript yet on my machine. I've only got them in the other, in C#. So I could demo this in C#. Why don't I do that? I'll take that. I'm going to cut it to the clipboard. Let's go get a C# file. And I'll take that. And now I'll show you how easy it is. Just /F. Like this gives me the formula, and then if I want to do a fraction, it'd be a /F. So now I can do backslash, it gives me my fraction. I type a 1 on the top, and then on the bottom, I can just paste in what I got, I think. Is that right? Or no, I've got a whole formula in here. I just wanted the square root in my paste. Like this. Like that. And get rid of this piece over here. Like that. What, missing end brace? There it is right there. Okay. There we go. And so you can kind of do these kinds of things pretty quickly and easily. It's not hard to, oh, thanks. I'm going to log in with my other GitHub account and do another upvote. Thank you, sir. Don't forget Omega plus Will. Oh yeah, this is fun too. So watch this. So Will, if I come in here, so /F gives me the formula. And then I want to get a Greek symbol. I type in a dot and the letter. So omega is the lowercase o. If I do that, it will give me the lowercase omega, like that. And then I can just follow that with IL like this, and then it'll give me Will's name like that. Pretty cool. So pretty cool stuff. So yeah, it's pretty easy to do all of those things you want. Pi is, I think, just like this, like that. That probably doesn't make sense for Will's name, but anyway, that's it. That's it. Square root of Will. Let's do that. So square root is, or let's do an nth root. So it's /nr for nth root, like that. And maybe we want the cubed root of Will, and it would look like that. Nice. Also, good news is in the early release of this 3 was in the wrong place. It was slightly off to the left. And as I obsess about the details, I was saying, guys, we got to absolutely fix this, and they fixed it. So I'm super happy about that. That is now in the right position. Let's do a test to make sure they fix the other bug, which was, if I make it really long, yes, they fixed that too. Good job, guys. I like it. So anyway, that's it. It's kind of cool stuff. And for folks that are dealing with math and formulas, I think it's useful. So not for all coders, but I think it's useful for people that are working in F#, for example, people that are doing heavily math-based kinds of stuff. It's so much better, I think, for me visually to see this or to see what's going on here than it is to try to decipher it in code. And so that's kind of what's going on there. The templates that I don't have are actually in the shipping version. I just don't have them on my build. I didn't install them yet. So that's what's going on there. Hugo says R. Yeah, if you're working in R2 as well. So yeah, that's it right there, target speed. And you can do things like put variable names in here, right? So I could come in here and change x squared to v.x, for example, like here. And that should all work. And this should be a v.y. Whoops, I deleted the y. And this should be a v.z. And let's see how that works. There you go. And so now I'm actually using, so this is super cool, right? I've got math formula around my variable names, right? It's pretty cool stuff, I think. I think it's super cool. I love it. And again, it's so efficient. It doesn't add, it takes up very little space, right? Unlike an image, there's no extra file. There's no additional problems to work out there. And if somebody gets it and they don't have CodeRushed, they can look at it and they can say, oh, I think I see what's going on. And if they know LaTeX, they can definitely see what's going on. And they might be like, hey, what's going on? Why don't I see this? And somebody will say, well, because you don't have CodeRushed. Go get it. I can also hide this by putting a backtick here. I can hide the comment character, so it just shows up just like that. And I think I can even align it left by deleting that space. Yeah, there we go. Now it's aligned to there. And I can do all kinds of fun stuff. All right. Anyway, it's fun. Okay, so let's go see if we can get that. Let's get that piece and bring it in. I think that now that we've got the die roller out here, and this is actually working, we've got our render test working on the die. And just to show you that in case you've come in late, if I bring up my die roller test screen view, do I see it? I'm not seeing that there. Let me refresh. Hold on a second. Let me refresh the browser. There's the line. So this is super cool. So we have the die is down below, rendered with 3GS. And above it, I've got a line. I just wanted to cross that line, but I guess it's not because of its. There we go. The line is above it because it's velocity. I bet if we change this to 2, let's go change this to roll 2 dice, or 3 or 4 dice to roll. Let's roll 4 of them, and then we'll come down here and refresh this cache on here, and now you'll see a couple of across the line. There we go. And so the line is above the dice, which is cool. That's where we're going to use this layer to draw that special effect. So that's what we want to do. So I want to actually create a class for this. I think that's an actual TypeScript class. So let's do that. Let's go find die roller. It's right out here. I think the fastest way to create a class I'm finding is open file in Explorer. Mothil is following. Thanks for that follow. And I'm just going to click and drag this over here. I feel like with the performance problems I'm having in Visual Studio, the Visual Studio preview that I'm on, it's Dice Effects is what I'm going to call this right here. Class, and now we're going to come over here and we're going to open that up. We're going to select everything, delete it, and now we're going to create a new class here, call it Dice Effects. And you know what I should do? You're probably distracted by these dice rolling. Let's get rid of them. But aren't those sound effects awesome? We did that yesterday in yesterday's show, got the sound effects working on that. So we're going to call this the Dice Effects class, and it is going to, let's see, in its constructor, We basically need to do this right here. Will, did your test fireball work? I did not see it. I had my eyes up instead of down. Let's see if it works for me. Test FB. No, it did not work. Sad. Let's see if we can figure that out. The fireball is in the front overlay. Let's refresh that cache. Sometimes I feel like I have to refresh these caches, and and I think it's because of all the starting. I don't know. I was thinking it was maybe the starting and stopping of Visual Studio. I'm not sure what it is, but that's refreshing. We'll try a fireball when that comes back. There's my fireball. There, that worked. Test fireball worked now. Okay, so we need to get some stuff here is what we need to get. I think I'm going to make these. I'm going to maybe make these global over here. And I want to call this the dice canvas, like this, and I'm going to make this one the dice context, like that. And I want to let's create a function here. Whoops, call it get context, maybe something like that. And then we're going to put essentially the same stuff down here. We're going to clean this up, get rid of this and this. Or you know what? No. Let's friggin' do this the right way. That's what I wanted to do. Sorry, kids. I've been out of TypeScript for a while. So I wasn't thinking properly here. So get context. This is going to be the dice canvas right there. Like that. This dot. Working our way through it. Getting there. Are the tests working now, Will? Looks like they might be. I'm seeing some attempts to do the... Yep, there we go. There's some smoke right there. All right, cool. And... there we go. That should be good now. Everybody happy? What is it? Oh, this dice canvas. Not quite. There we go. I guarantee you, I don't guarantee you, but I think that by the end of the day, and the end of this episode, I'll be back in TypeScript mode again and making fewer mistakes. All right, so there's my context in there. I want to have a render canvas like this function like that. And then I want to create a new dice effect out over in here. And where am I going to do that? Probably in the init function is the place to put it. So we're going to come in here. We're going to say this dot dice effects is equal to new dice effects, like that. Let's declare it. Can I declare it? Am I in a class? I'm not in a class, am I? I think I'm not in a class. Yeah, I'm not. Okay, gotcha. All right, so let's declare it. Like that. And we might turn this into a class later. We're going to get rid of render canvas, but we're going to replace it. We're going to come over here with dice effects dot render canvas is what we're going to do. So that should work. And then what we want to do is this. We want to do something to the effect of, hey, if dice context, if not, if we don't have a context, then I want to say call get context. That's what I want to do. What are the trolling coins around the edge? Yeah, no, you can collect them with the drone. And so, Will is typing in the commands of the direction he wants to go in. And so is Straight Bud is doing the same thing. You can just type in the letters U for up, D for down, R for right, and L for left, followed by the amount of time you want to move the drones. Yeah, see the drones? There's Straight Bud is over there. Straight Bud is collecting coins, And up in the upper right, Will Bennett's collecting points with the drones. If you type in drone again, you will explode and then regenerate from the CodeRushed rocket in the upper left, right there. Which I'm not sure if we've shown that yet here, Surly Dev, but I'll just do a brief launch of this. There's the launch right there. And then followed by, if I do a dock though, if I do it, you guys all blow up. So maybe I won't dock. I think if you guys dock, you guys don't blow up. So you guys can dock it, but if I do it, you guys, yeah. There you go. So, all right. So render canvas is there. Once we've got that canvas, then we want to say, we want to do something with it. And I want to say, I think I want the same line drawing code I had before is what I want to do here. Let's move to 0, 0, line 2, 1920, 1080. Dot line style. Wait, it's not. Wait, is it? It should be in the context, right? Why don't I have line style? Why am I totally? I feel like I'm totally. This context should totally have line style. Stroke style is what it is. That's what it is. Okay, stroke style. Let's make it be kind of a maroon line. So we're going to say a little bit of red and a little bit of blue. Change the color. Let's change the width of it as well. Thickness. Is it just thickness? Line thickness, line width. Wow. Okay, why do we have stroke and line width? This is like a little bit crazy, but okay. So move to line, and then I think, what is it? We end with stroke, right? Like that. That's what I think we do. And so now if we test this with our dice game, so let's just go over to the dice view, and it's the old one, but let's refresh that. Hold on a second. I'm refreshing the cache right now. There's the refresh. Are we going to come up with a purple line? Ooh, we come up with a bug. It does not work. Let's go open up. Let's go see why. What have I done wrong? Oh, wow, this is not responding. Come on, Chrome. Are you going to kick in and give it to me, or am I going to need to restart? Boom, nice shot. So the white smoke indicates you've hit close to me. And when we have our fireworks connected, that'll actually launch off, and they're armed. It'll actually light up some flash paper here in the home office. So yeah, that doesn't look good. I'm going to say close the program. And what do we got here? Let's close down. Here we go. We're shutting down here. Try starting up one more time. Yeah, this delay is killing me. Could I start from here, even though I haven't? Oops. Sorry about that, kids. The question is, could I start from here, even though this one is not responding and hasn't completely shut down? Let's try it. Because, I'm a fan of, pushing things to the limit and seeing what goes wrong. I also want, by the way, so with regard to the drone game, I want to make it so that when the coins are all collected, it just automatically creates something new, like put some coins out somewhere for you to get. So I want to do that. Surly Dev got the last 2 coins. I don't think extend and retract only work if you're launched, straight butter. So if we launch, why did that fail? Oh, because I've shut down everything. Those are also not working because of because we're not running anything. Okay, here we go. I'm going to close this one down to reduce confusion. Killing all my instances of Chrome as well, because I just realized those need to be killed, or we're gonna not get a good run here. How do you get rid of your drone? No way to get rid of the drone that I know of. We haven't built that in yet. I can get rid of them all by switching to this view and switching back, or I can get rid of them by doing a doc command. Yeah. So yeah, there's no way to get rid of the drone. That's a really good point. We should add that. That's what we should do. Well, I'm feeling like the delay on the run, it's disheartening, sufficiently disheartening. Oh, there we go. Just as I started talking about it. Let's see what's happening. Okay, now we're starting up. Got Mr. Announcer Bot. What I wanted to do is get in here and look at the die roller and see what was going on there. What's my mistake with the die roller? That's what I'm looking for. And let's inspect. What's the console tell us? Dice effects is not defined. Ah, I should have figured that out. I should have known that. That's because we need a reference to it in our page die roller right here. We need a reference like here. No, you don't see dice effects there? It's totally there. Huh. Source, dice effects. Should totally be there. All right, now let's try a refresh over here and see what we get. There we go. All right. Let me take a look at the chat room. What's it say? Is the drone overlay starting? Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it is. No. When I removed www root from the project, that I excluded it from the project itself. Well, these are going slow. What's going on here? What's my task manager say? Yeah, that could be why. Visual Studio's sucking up a lot of that. Chrome is taking up some of it. OBS as well. OBS is trying to load. OBS just finished loading the drone overlay. So that's loaded. The scroll bars have gone away. All right. And we've verified that our dice roller class is working, although we've got some performance issues here. But I think those are not because of the code we've written. I think that's because of some other stuff that's happening. So let me do this. To at least stop this part. Whoops. To stop this part from running, I'm just going to go back to the previous page we were on. And that'll at least stop that. And yeah, this is sucking up a lot of bandwidth here. Okay, so now we've got our rendering working. Next, we need to open up to get to load those effects. And this is something we've built from scratch, but I forget how to use it. So I want to go back in to our pages here and look at how we're doing it. I think it's in. We can find a reference to it in drone.main, drone game. Jump over to that. Here we go. So we basically need some sprites. We need to create them. And let's put that in our dice effects over here. So we're going to come up here. We're going to, actually, let's do this. Let's create a new function, create load sprites, like this. And let's go get that yellow seed declaration. And just grab that and put it up here, like this. And I don't think we need an all seeds for right now. Maybe we will, actually. Let's actually do that. Let's go find the all seeds as well. Yeah, great CodeRushed feature I'm using, tab to next reference. That's sprite collection, like that. And let's go see, get its initialization. Simple enough. And let's do that. And now we're going to start renaming stuff. This is going to be all effects, is that. And this one is going to be the dice fireball, like that. And shoot, are we going to have trouble with this? Getting this piece over here. Plant seeds is not going to be something we're going to pass into it. I think we're going to have a problem with the I think we're going to need that folder, is what I think we're going to need from before. I think following that is going to make a lot of sense. So let's go look at the model that we have in index. This is the piece we're going to need. These pieces, we need those two pieces right there. Let's pop this back into our die roller. Like this. And it's going to be gamedev.assets is the folder name. I guess I'm okay with that. And then we're going to say Dragon H in here. So we're going to say Dragon H, right? Is that right? I think I don't want to say it here. I think I want to say it here, like that. And then I want to say and now we need to get to the path for those assets we created. So that's inside Fireball. Nope, not in Fireball. It's inside Dice. Roll 20 Fireball. That's the asset we created right there. So that's what we're looking for in our path. Okay, then we need to have the name of it, which is the base name of it, which is Dice Fireball. Right there. What's this parameter? This is the expected frame count. It's going to be 71 frames. This is the frame interval, 30 frames per second. FPS 30. Whoops. Surly Dev asks, how did I catch that? And Will says, because you are awesome. Yeah, so you can throw it once you've caught it, Surly Dev, by typing in a T followed by two numbers. The first number is your horizontal meters per second, and the second number is your vertical one, with positive being up. So that's how you can throw it if you want to. Surly Dev says, no, I'm not going to throw it. You don't have to. FPS 30 is, as I recall, equal to 33. So I want to create a constant of type double. Why is my QD template not working here? Oh, it's not double, it's N. QN. There we go. FPS 30 is equal to 33. Is what I believe 33 milliseconds is 30 frames per second. Okay, next, animation style is not a loop, it is sequential. And this last one is the pad file index, which is just going to add zeros, pad zeros to it. Does it move? No, it does not move, so we don't need that. We've added the dice fireball effect, and now we could do as a test. How are we going to test this? I don't have the test framework hooked up here because I'm not using the game engine for this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go in. Let's create a function. Let's in our dice roller.ts file. When we get to here, so this is where we're adding an event listener for, no, not for collide. I don't want to do it for collide. I could do it when we get to settling right here. Or I could just do this, random dice throw. Let's just do it at the beginning. When we do a new throw, we're going to play it. So we'll try to do it there. Ooh, I have an idea. Let's do this. Need to throw, or need to test fireball. Better name, equal to true. That. And then I want to come down in here and say, if we're settling the dice, we're near the end of the throw. And we want to say, if need to test fireball, then need to test fireball is false. And then I want to go into dice effects dot test fireball. Like that. All right. Looks like I cannot declare that from here, so let's come over here, create a new function. CodeRushed templates here. I just hit the letter F, the space bar, hit enter a couple times, and I'm done. So here's my test fireball, and now I want to go into this dot dice fireball dot add. Yeah. And then I want to say, so it looks like the position is here, so let's make it the center of the screen, 960, 540. And the starting frame index is 0. And is that all we need to do? It's not quite all we need to do. We need to go into our collection of special effects, and when we're rendering, we need to come in here, all effects dot, and is there a render, is there a draw? There's a draw. And it takes a context, so we're going to pass in this dot dice context. And it takes a now, a time. PFN to give me performance.now. And then I think I'm going to get rid of this. That maybe will do it. So with that saved, let's try to test it on the stream first and see if we have any luck, and we can see it on the stream. Nope, looks like I've got a bug. What is it? I bet I need to reference more files. I bet that's exactly what my problem is. Let's bring up the, bring this up. Go and grab our die roller. Bring up our inspect. Yep, there's a bug. I love that distortion there, by the way. Console. Can it read property draw of undefined? Dice effects dot render canvas. What? Did I do the all effects dot draw? All effects. Didn't I? Oh. Get context. Did I never create all effects? I never created it. That's what it looks like. Nope, I created it here in load sprites. Load sprites, I failed to call load sprites. That will be useful. Let's try, see what happens now. This dot load sprites. Refresh. Sprite collection is not defined. Sprite collection, we're going to need to add some usings here. And let's get another one of those pages out here. much of this am I going to need? Sprite collection. Let's just add, let's try and get away with just adding the pieces, these pieces one at a time to see what we learn here. Die roller, sprite collection. And refresh. Sprites. Okay, let's add sprites. Refresh. Animation style. That's what it looks like I'm missing next. I don't know what that's in. Where is animation style? Let's go back over here. Yep, I got it all by itself in its own file. Okay, animation style, refresh, console, part is undefined. Okay, let's go grab part. Ah, I think that worked. Maybe not. Got a bug. Got a bug, got a bug, got a bug, got a bug. Sprite proxy is not defined. Okay, we're getting there. Sprite proxy. Run again. We might be working now, kids. Let's see if we got the fireball out here. I don't see the fireball though. I definitely don't see the fireball. What's wrong with the fireball here? See if we can set a breakpoint on render canvas. I'm in it. All effects.draw. All sprites for each. Sprites.draw. There's nothing in it. There's nothing in it there. Test fireball. We're calling this. We're not calling test fireball. Thought we did this. Sorry, that's my problem, I think. DieRoller.ts is what I'm looking for. There it is. Wait, there's the test fireball call right there. Why isn't that finding it? Is it because the dice aren't settling? There's a settle. We're not setting it, getting that breakpoint though. We're getting here. We are here. Okay. Need to test fireball is true. And we get here. So die to floor contact should be in here. Relative velocity is less than 8. That means we're slowing down. Let's run it. We're in here. Play settle. Need to test fireball is false. But we just set it to true. I think the need to test fireball is local here. I think if we move this to here, it might work. because I set it to false the first time. I'm wondering if that's it. I think we've got kind of a weird state problem right here. Let me see what happens. What you got? Everybody's flying drones and not listening to you. Maybe you should sing or background music. What? You're not listening to me? That's not possible. Background music, I'm not ready to do that yet. I was looking into that and I don't have anything I can do. And singing, really? You're going to listen to me sing instead? I'm like barely able to. All right. You guys can fly drones, though. I'm trying to get this to work. And I will look into music. I hear you will, and I want to do that. Let's see what we can do over here. Do a refresh and see what we see. There's the settle, but there's no fireball being drawn. All right, let's just do this. But do we ever get here? Do we get here? We do. Let's just not do that. We'll do this instead. And let's hit refresh over here and run. See what we get. Test fireball. There's my test fireball. Okay, let's go inside. Dice fireball. It's got none in it. Let's implement this line of code. And now it's got something in it. Okay, then on render canvas, we should be here next. And now we're going to go inside. Inside. Does it still have it? It still got it. Advance the frame. It has no sprites in it. Okay. I think what I need to do, it looks like I failed to load. Am I calling this? I'm calling it in the constructor. What's going on with this again? Hold on a second. Yeah, it's like I lost the sprite somehow in here is what it looked like. The sprite linked, we advanced the frame. That's when we lost it, I think, in there. That's where we lost it. Let's clear this. Test fireball. Here's the advanced frame. Oh, here's the problem. The now that I'm passing in is not in seconds, I think, 37, or is it, let's see. Last time we advanced the frame is 37,000. And this is like way more. Hold on, let's see what's happening here. Maybe that's not the problem. Advanced frame, frame count. Frame count. Oh, we didn't find them, I think is the problem. It's got an actual frame count of 0. So dice, roll 20, fireball, dice, fireball. We didn't find them. Let's go back and trace the load on there and see what's going on. So that's going to be, where can I find the drone commands? Surly Dev is asking. Surly Dev, I don't think we have the drone commands documented anywhere. That we've only kind of talked about them here on the show as we wrote them. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go over into dice effects.ts. Let's trace into here and see what's going on here. So dice fireball is failing. Did we see anything in console about that? No, console's not warning us about it. Let's refresh. Wait. Didn't I set a breakpoint? What? I don't even get this. Why is my constructor breakpoint not being called? There's my new dice effects. Now I'm going into load sprites, sprite collection. Let's go in here. Hitting F11, nothing happened. There it is. I don't see where the, oh, I see. It's going through and initializing these pieces. I think. I'm hitting F10, F10. Okay, here we go. Opacity. So now we're loading up. This is what loads up the hitting F11. Part, file name. File name is undefined. Is that really true? No, it's not. It was just the state before I hit F10 on it. Okay, so we're there. So part.load sprites is undefined. I think we need to set that. All right, so let's do, let's look at that. At the risk of having that Visual Studio lockup we saw earlier, let's look at this only in TS files. See what we got here. Are the, do we have problems? Everybody's stopping? The drones aren't working? Oh, because I'm at a breakpoint? That might be true. Yeah, that might be true. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so I just need to set this somewhere. So we're going to put this over in dice effect here and maybe in load sprites. Put it there. All right. Come back over here, refresh. Come back over here, hit run. Run. I'm hitting continue. I don't think I necessarily want to terminate. I just want it to work. Don't make me do this, guys. Okay, there we go. Hold on. Now, this started advanced frames. So the problem is in loading. Let's do a refresh. At least that's one of the blocks along the way, it seems. Pause in Visual Studio. Here we go. Cool. So game assets, dice. Looks like we got 2 slashes here. Game assets, game dev assets. I forgot to do that. And let's see if that's the case here. Let's do this. Pause in debugger. Run it. Oh, there we go. Okay, not bad. Oh yeah, I see what's going on. It's adding a bunch of them and just keeping them around. So we're going to do a couple changes here. I think the problem is we need to say sequential stop so it gets rid of itself when it's done, I think. That's, I think, what we need to do. Let's try it now. Do they all clean up now? They don't. Surly Dev says, two slashes shouldn't matter though. You just ripped a hole in the space-time continuum. Mr. Balrog says, there's a product by DevExpress called CodeRushed, right? Is that to me? Was I missing something there? So I'm not sure why that's not working. Sequential stop. Sequential I thought was okay. I thought stop actually just stopped at a particular frame. And so I don't understand why it's not cleaning itself up when it gets to the end. So that would mean that if we come in here, got sprites, and we have got 232 of these built up so far. I wonder if we need to also make a call to update. It's been a while. Positions? Is that going to be my problem fixer, maybe? Let's just drill into this and see what the update positions do on the sprites. Update positions for free elements. That's only for falling, I guess. Right? Yeah, we need to remove the expired sprites. Sprites to splice. It's kind of like how I saw another Twitch dude with the name DevSum, and I told him there's an MS conference in Sweden with that name. He was blown away. Mr. Balrog says, yes, it was to you. First-time visitor here. And just as I said it, that DevExpress banner showed up. Yes. Okay. So the answer is I do. So it was actually I do know that, Mr. Balrog. In fact, I am the original creator of CodeRushed, the product. And I manage the team at DevExpress. So yes, absolutely. I am aware of it and doing my best to use it to write code quickly here. But I'm also right now trying to debug, and I want to see where splice is showing up here because I want to find out where destroy. Don't destroy. That's a self-destruct piece called there. That's for releasing the drone. Blowing up is calling it. I don't really want destroy. So not destroy, but there's another splice call where we are removing this cleanup finished animations. I want that. Is this thing ever being called? What's this being called from? Advanced frames. Advanced frames is called in the draw for the sprite. Should be called there. Let's do a refresh over here. See if we hit any of these breakpoints I'm setting. Continue.
That's a bug.
Okay, here's advanced frames. So I am getting it here. Sprites, what's my length of sprites here? It's only got one, no, because we refreshed. clean up finished animations. If it is sequential and we've cycled once, is undefined. Have cycled once. Cycled. Where do we call cycled from? I want to set a breakpoint here. See if we got an inbounds. Are we calling cycled? Inbounds is 0. That would explain why we're not getting to cycled versus false. Well, that means we're going forward here. Let's see if we get in here. We do. Frame index is 2. Frame count is that. Okay, so let's see if we get into here. Set a breakpoint here. Okay, frame index is equal to return frame index, and we cycled. So now we've cycled once. Boom, true. So now we should come over here and clean up finished animations. Animation style is equal to 3, sequential stop is equal to 3, have cycled once. That means we're removing it. So we have 19 and we went down to 18. Well, we're removing it. I didn't change any code that I recall. And it says it's removing, and yet it looks like it's increasing. Or, wait for it. Let's try one other thing. Let's go back and only draw it once and see if it goes away the once. Maybe we're just drawing more on than it's able to clean in time. And maybe that's really what our problem is. So let's just do this once. Wait a minute. So I think we can do something like this. If dice, do we have, is the target is the die? Yeah, maybe I won't do that. I'll do this, the one I did before. If we are, now we're just going to do it once. Let's do it once. See what happens. Does it clean itself up? It does not. Is it? Oh, you know what I think it is? I think it has nothing to do with any of these things. I think it's, so it's interesting. We've been chasing this whole time, but it's, I'm pretty positive I know what the problem is. It is, it's something completely different. And I'll catch up with the chat messages in just a second. The render the canvas, we need to have a canvas call. This dot dice context dot clear rect 00 19 20 1080. That's going to, I think, solve the problem. All right, totally had nothing to do with it. Let's see if that solves it. There you go. Okay. All right. So that solves that problem. Let's go back into Dice Roller. Let's test it a little more frequently.
That was funny.
Yeah, okay, great. Glad you like that. Let's refresh it. So now we should see one. Every time the dice settles, and then they go away. So there's a whole bunch of those coming in there. There's a whole bunch, but they're at least cleaning up. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's take a look at this, what we got here. By the way, speaking of things with the same name, my dad, he's not alive anymore, but he went to Belgium once and came across a cafe known as Cafe Mark Miller. And they had cups that said Cafe Mark Miller on them. And he said, my name is Mark Miller. He had the same name as I did. And he's like, may I take these with me? And they said yes. So in Belgium, there was a cafe at one point in time, about 40 years ago. I'm not sure if the cafe is still there, but it was kind of interesting. Mr. Balrog says, waiting for 2019 to stabilize. Mr. Balrog says, I will have to unwillingly admit that I've stopped installing coders because it was hogging too much resources in my poor Surface Pro. Depending on which version you're using, if you're using coders for Roslyn, it uses fewer resources than CodeRushed Classic and relies upon the Roslyn engine. So it looks like he hasn't tried that yet, but Mr. Balrog, that is waiting for you to give it a try. And I'm pretty sure you can try that for free right now off of the Visual Studio Marketplace. In fact, let's take a look at that for a second here. CodeRushed. If I do Roslyn, we're not really calling it that anymore, but it's a great way to go find it quickly. Right there. Check it out. We've got over 500,000, over 500,000 downloads. And we just crossed that threshold earlier today. So you can go take that, you can download it, give it a try, and see what you think about that. What else do I have in here within the chat room? Mr. Balrog says he also uses both VS Code and VS 2017 at the moment. So VS Code is one of the things we were talking about that earlier, trying to get CodeRushed ported over to. VS Code for projects that I don't want to have a solution, a .sln file for. So is it just so that the last frame is always left around? He's talking about what we were doing there and debugging there. I tried using LiveShare locally between VS Code and VS so I could take advantage of both, but there's still some bugs there. What's that? How do you have that inline comment? I think he's talking about that right there. This right here. Yeah, I think you showed up just after I was talking about this. So this is the latex formulas that CodeRushed gives you access to. So these are formulas using something called latex, like this, and that's kind of what they look like right there. Whoops, am I still in the formula or no, I'm not? Yes, I am in the formula. Hold on, let's get out of the formula into the comment and put it there. There we go. It's a latex formula right there. So you can you can create those things in there. CodeRushed also allows you to put images in your code as well. So for example, if I want to come in here and take an image of this piece right here that we created in this UI, I don't want this whole thing up here. I want to make it a little smaller than this. And I can do an alt print screen on it, and then I can come in here into CodeRushed inside of a comment, and I should be able to paste it in just like that. And then I can paste it right in the code. And then I can come in here and I can say crop the image as well, and do this. And I guess that's good. That's what I want. So that's kind of thing. I can also resize it. I can, like, say I wanted to go in on something very close in here. Let's crop in really, really tightly on say right over in this area right here, for example. And crop image. Oh, I have to zoom out, I guess, to grab that piece right there. We'll come in and grab right in on axe throne here, like this. And then now what we can do is we can come in here and we can say pixel scale to like 1600%. We can get just a total zoom in on the pixels if we want, or we can just resize it. We can grab one of these resize pieces and we get kind of a blurry pixel scale on it too. So it's kind of cool. Some of the things that you can do in here with regards to embedded images and the and the embedded formulas as well. So that's what's going on. Yeah, the inline image comment is really awesome, says Hugo. So you can put any latex in or just formulas. It's a subset of the formulas. It's based on an open source engine, and the open source engine only supports a subset of the formulas. So we can't do all of them, but we can do a lot of the common pieces we can put in here. I'll give you an example of those. If we go into CodeRush's templates, and we get into, I think I can search for latex. Yeah, commenting. There it is right there. And cleared that. And what, did I lose it? I guess I clicked on just as it was redrawing it. So we know it's in commenting latex right there. So here's some of the things that we can do in latex. We can do /F is going to give me a formula. So that's built the syntax for me. \dot gives me a dot, so that's the round circle. Two of them give me 2 dots, or actually I think it's 3 dots is what that is. \8 gives me infinity. \B gives me some braces. BCA gives me a big cap. BCU gives me a big cup. CP gives me coproduct. F gives me fraction. L gives me limit. I can get left and right parens with a /LR. NR gives me an nth root. O gives me a circle. OI gives me ONth. There are more than these that we support, but these are a number of ones that are much easier to enter with the CodeRush templates here. So prod is there, sum is there, square root, vectors are there as well. And then we have all the Greek symbols as well inside of here. So the Greek symbols are there. So those are the pieces we give you templates for. We actually support more than what's in these templates. Let me see if I can find a file. I have a file over here that you can see what we support and don't support in this. Here it is, right here. Let's open it up. Okay, so here's what so basically I've just started going down through the latex stuff and putting all the pieces in it. These are different obscure symbols, different kinds of ways of writing equations. So you can kind of get a sense of what you can do here with the latex. And then near the end of this, I start documenting the problems in terms of what we can't do. So this is everything we can do, or examples of things that we can do. So there's a lot of math that you can represent using latex here. And then we get into, let's see, cool. We fixed the issues with the square roots. Happy about that. Let's put those, move those up above. Since those are fixed, I can fix this comment so it's not red anymore as well. All right. And then we'll just kind of keep going through and you can see where we get into some problems here. Here we go. The rendering issues are down in here. So basically these are different problems here. I've got a picture here. These pictures are meant to show up with a white background because they've got a transparent background. So if I change the background to a light background, you'll see these pictures here. And these are pictures I've just pasted in from a different latex rendering engine. So give me a second for this to update here. So let's see here. So how is that committed? It is not a base64 string inline comment. The images are in a folder. The cropping, let me show you, I'll show you how the cropping is done as well. So let's say we right click this and we say crop the image and we bring it over to here. The cropping is actually stored in the comment like this. So this is what how the engine, the image engine technology works. By the way, if you want to see more of that, look for CodeRush Holy Grail like this. And I'll put this link out here. And this documents all the stuff, all the technology and how it works is what's going on here. So all kinds of stuff that you can do with images and things like this through here. A lot of examples. some cool stuff here too, like to just visually show what's going on with the code, right? So instead of it being harder to use, it's easier. Now the code, so here, this piece right here is the PNG file name. This file name is the hash, this 32-bit hash of the image itself. So if I paste this image into another file, it's going to get the same hash and stick it out there. This information here that follows it has to do with right here is the scaling and here is the cropping, and there might be other things too. For example, a link like that. So that's it. We can come in here and we can say, okay, let's right click and say restore original image. And then now you can see what happens to the comment there. The comment just becomes much simpler. That means if somebody puts the same image in or crops or resizes it in multiple files, you won't have multiples of this PNG file that's out there. That PNG file is stored out with the solution. If we come into the solution and we say open folder in File Explorer, and then we come over here into CodeRushed, and we go into images. Here they are, and so you can just take these images and check them into source control if you want to do so. And you can see some of the images that are now that are in there. I was going to say now because of this, but I had actually made this part of the solution before, and that's why these images are showing up here. So everything here with a red line above it is an error message and something that we're not supporting in LaTeX right now at the moment, and that's because the engine is not supporting it. So we are, my hope is that people will start using this, will start wanting to do more of this, and will maybe go out and contribute to the to that engine that's out there, and or ask us to support the pieces they need, and then we'll prioritize that and work on that. So. Wild Gene says, I missed CodeRushed old version for VS 2013. I think we stopped that old version in about 2015 is what we did. We stopped development on that and switched over to CodeRushed for Roslyn. It had a few features that we still don't have in CodeRushed for Roslyn. One of those is duplicate code detection and resolution and consolidation, where we could detect duplicate code and consolidate it a number of ways that would normally take you an hour or more to do, and it was really pretty cool. We are working on bringing that over, and it had a few more refactorings that we haven't ported over yet. There were some cool things in it, but from a standpoint of performance and efficiency, CodeRushed for Roslyn is totally rocking it. It is it's uses fewer resources and takes less time to do the same kinds of tasks that CodeRushed for just CodeRushed Classic did. Okay, so we've done that. We've got this piece out here. So there's an example of that image embedding piece that we're talking about. Let me go back to the dark theme. And I think we're going to end the show because I need to get some food for a little bit, and Rory is going to come in here soon, and Rory and I are going to record a feature of the week, a CodeRushed feature of the week. So I think we're in a good stopping point. We've got basically what we have is we have the, and did I put this out there? Yeah, I put out the Holy Grail piece out there. So we have this essentially working. We are just some logic and maybe a little bit of research away from figuring out which one of these dice has a D20 on it and where is it, and then only drawing one of those when it comes to settle, instead of a whole bunch. But I don't think we're far away. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. That is good. And we've also are a step closer with regards to our mod test passing as well. And so I feel pretty good about that too. We're getting closer. We're supporting the absolute rule of Dungeons and Dragons, and so I'm feeling pretty good about that. And with that, I'm going to say thanks to everybody. Surly Dev says thanks for the show. Gets me fired up about coding, watching you work. Well, hey, happy to be here. If there's some value, some good we can eke from the show, by all means, I'm super pleased about that. Surly Dev is also asking, are the wrist braces you're wearing precautionary, or have you had problems? They're precautionary, but they've been precautionary for over 20 years. I've been wearing these for over 20 years when I first started reading about carpal tunnel. And my belief is that had I not been wearing them, I would be not able to code right now, would be my sense. In fact, if I don't wear them now, I do get in kind of an annoying cognitive load consuming pain in my wrist. So I'm actually, I guess maybe you could argue it's because of an issue. Let's see what's going on here. Things that Rory's saying, yep. I can delay and we can maybe do tomorrow too. Both are okay. Let's do tomorrow. Until Rory, I'm going to do it tomorrow instead, I think. And we'll do that. Anything else I missed in the chat room right here? Yeah. Will Bennett has answered the question as well. Wearing them for years, no injuries. I'm a health nut. Yeah, kind of. I guess I'm really precautionary, right? I want to be able to code like I code for as long as possible, right? It's what I live for. It's like, on my top 2 list of things that I do when, like, as long as the family is safe and, I'm breathing and, I've been fed, coding is like right there. It's like, I love being able to create worlds. I love I love taking ideally a somewhat careful approach to design and then coming back and feeling the benefits of that. And so I feel like, I feel like I shouldn't, it's not fair to say, I'm not claiming that I always take a careful approach to design. On this show, we've seen me make compromises again and again, design compromises for whatever reason. So it's not like I'm always doing that. But when I do and I see the results, I really enjoy that. It's what drives me. So Hugo says, speaking of risks and RSI, have you tried? That also is how we get things done. He asks, have you tried different, I think he's saying ergo keyboards like Ergo Decks? I've done, so Microsoft Natural is the one I use. And I swear by it. I've got 3 backups in my closet in case this one breaks and they discontinue it or something along those lines. But I love the Natural because I'm able to keep my hands apart, my elbows apart while I work. So I like that. Sorely says, a bit CodeRushed has helped reduce your keystroke count considerably, as well as allowing you to implement features quicker and faster, get a faster feedback loop. Yeah, that's part of it too, right? CodeRushed started because I could not code as fast as I could think. I would be desperately trying to get ideas out before I lost them, right? And the ideas would just stack up and I would just be rushing as quickly as I could. And so that's how I started writing CodeRushed. And this was like 20 years ago about. It was in 1998, I think. So yeah, 20 years ago I started writing CodeRushed. Or at least started with the idea for it, right? I was like, look, and I was like talking to everybody. I was like, don't you want to code as fast as you think? And a lot of people were saying, I already do code as fast as I think. And for me, that was absolutely not the case. And the other thing I found is that as CodeRushed helped me go faster and faster, I was able to think faster too. I wasn't having to spend time thinking about, I just, incorrectly typed in finally wrong, and I've got to go fix that or whatever it is. And so CodeRushed actually inspired the Visual Studio code snippets. But the thing about CodeRushed code templates is there's so much thought behind the design, you really can't match it in another product without a substantial amount of work. And so, just as an example, if I type in, TF here and hit the spacebar, I get a try finally. But if I go over into our test cases, like over here, and I get outside of a class and I type in TF, whoops. Oh, yeah, it's not going to let me do it here. But if I did it here, it would give me a test fixture instead. So there's a huge amount of context and an engine behind all of this that allows you to come in and make a template that does one thing in one place and something else somewhere else. So for example, to get if I want to write the word will out here, I would type in using the formulas. I would say to get the omega, I do a .o right here. Wait, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Why am I not getting it? Oh, I don't have the templates here. I can only do it in C#. I don't have the templates over here yet in this side. Do I have another instance of Visual Studio running? I don't. Gonna have to start up a new instance if I want to demo this. But basically, I was going to show that the .o only those templates for the LaTeX formulas only work if you're inside a formula. And so we've actually got context looking to see, are we in a LaTeX formula? So we can create things that otherwise would create collisions everywhere else, and they don't because of the context. So that's kind of what's going on. Or templates nested in templates which expand. Yeah, you can do that as well. Yeah, Hugo says the best templates are the ones that do a lot of code, like dependency properties in WPF, for example. Yeah, so CodeRushed started as something I developed for myself. In 2002, it was acquired by Dev Express along with me, and I went from like myself plus one or two other part-time folks writing code to a team of like 11 people, and which I also love because now I'm able to just spec things out and wait a little bit, and then the feature comes. Right. So on the show the other day, I was like, I had typed something in and I stopped for a second and I said, you know what, Rory, when I'm here and I type in the equals sign, I want it to go. I had done something like this. I was dealing with something that was was indexed, and I had typed in the open bracket, which CodeRushed gave me the close one, and of I, and then I hit equals space. And I said, and I looked up and I said, oh, Rory, when I type in equals space, I want CodeRushed to figure out that I'm not doing a double equals comparison. I've just got equals space. I'm in here. It added this automatically. I want CodeRushed to pop me out here because it's about fewer keystrokes, right? If I can reduce the keystrokes, I can reduce the cognitive load. That's kind of the idea. And if I can reduce cognitive load, then I can spend more time thinking about the code and less time about the specifics of the syntax and what the problems are that I've done. So that's it. I'm going to get some lunch, kids. Let's see if there's anybody we can raid you guys to, if anybody is out there. Nobody is out there that I am following is out there streaming right now, so we'll just end it with that. Thanks so much. I think I am, the family's on vacation. I think I'm going to be here again tomorrow at about the same time, starting at about the same time as we normally do in coding, and I may even continue through the weekend. So look for those notifications, and we'll try to keep this thing going with the dice rolling and the flames and the testing and all of that. And again, I want to say thanks so much for everybody who's been in the chat room and also folks who are lurking as well. Great to have you with us, and we will see you, I think, probably tomorrow. We'll see.